Welcome to the show this week. What are you doing, Big Daddy? I'm cranked up. I gotta turn my microphone down a little bit.
You gotta refrain from using the words and the term "cranked up."
Oh,
coming from Harmony Springs here.
Yeah, so I've been in Knoxville all week. Class is out in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of preppy guys walking around. You know, shorts about 6 inches above their knees.
Yeah.
Plaid or pastel shirts, hats, loafers. Right. You know what I didn't see all week? Somebody wearing one boot up to their knee and one tennis shoe on.
You seen that this morning?
I seen it this morning.
Back home in good old Clay County.
Back home in Clay County. Somebody talking about, I seen the sheriff coming up one side. I seen the other cop coming around the other, and I thought, uh-oh, we've had it now. But I got out.
I made it.
I made it.
Man.
I didn't see any of that in Knoxville.
Just when I told Lindsay last week when we were listening to the podcast back, she rarely listens to shows with me, but I thought last week was a really funny episode.
Yeah.
So I fast forward to the part where we talked crap about her being the exorcist on the beach. I did skip through that part, so she didn't hear me saying my wife goes, So I did. So we fast forwarded that. So I said, we really got to quit talking about our little hometown communities on there. You know, because we made like all those references to little towns last week, and it's all in good fun, really. Yeah. But now this stuff's got to stop down here.
This is unacceptable. This is reinforcing too many stereotypes.
You can't be going out in public wearing one not high top boot, but like a work boot. It was like a muck boot.
It's like a muck boot with laces.
Yeah. That's the look. That's the Clay County look. That's the work. That's every worker's look here. You wear your jorts and your tall laced up boots.
I'm not opposed to those tall laced up boots if you got both of them on. But you bring one out and then the New Balance on the other side.
You can't have that.
It looked awkward. I've
never seen that, and I think it's time to make our own like great value version brand of the people of Walmart. And I say we put out a People of Melvin's calendar.
Yep. Okay. All right.
We're not going to call the store out by its name.
I wasn't going to. There's
two options down here. There's Vita's and Melvin's. We don't want to put the heat on Vita's.
I would say I wasn't going to. Then I got to thinking, this is Harmony Springs. Who else am I calling out if I'm calling out?
And you don't want to put like Vita's on blast if it wasn't Vita's.
That's true.
It's not Melvin's fault that there's people coming in there with one boot and one shoe on.
It was very People of Walmartish. Speaking of, you know, we kind of give Walmart a hard time around here.
Especially Smith County Walmart.
We give Smith County Walmart a little bit different hard time. Went to Walmart in Knoxville. Bigger town, you'd think.
Yeah.
You'd at least be more varied group of people in there. Same thing.
Thongs hanging out there too.
It's like the whole group followed me from Smith County up to Knoxville.
It's amazing when people go out in public.
Yeah.
How they present themselves. It's all about.
I've never seen 6-inch platforms. Not heels. This was a whole platform. This is a 6-inch platform.
You had been to a lot of strip clubs.
No. Not only was it a platform in the back, it was a platform in the front too. So it had it would have been like a 6-inch heel, but it had like another 2 inches worth of platform, but the whole thing was just up.
There was a man wearing those?
I'm saying one woman wearing.
Are you serious?
I'm not. I kid you not.
Golly. I
said, this cat at least knows what he's after.
What was that?
He was after another one just like him, I think.
It don't take...
He knew him. He knew himself.
Yeah. You know, somebody told me the other day to fill out paperwork at some health departments and doctors' offices now that the paperwork actually says gender at birth, gender you currently are.
No kidding.
What in the blue hell is this all about?
You know, I'm not opposed to there being two options. But if you put in like fox or lizard or Care Bear or something at that point in time, I've got a little bit of problem with it.
I don't know that those options are on there.
I'd say they are.
I don't know.
Well, they're all valid options now, apparently.
But let's talk about the People of Melvin's a little bit more. I just feel like it doesn't take
video time.
I don't feel like it takes a lot of effort to be a clean person. Not everybody's got money, and not everybody's got a,
Another thing is, let's hold it together. For you're going into a store. Let's say you're getting a sandwich. You're going to be in there for 3 minutes while they're making your sandwich. So you've got 5 minutes. You got to hold it together. you got to hold it together on the 1 minute from your car inside. Get your stuff. Get your sandwich. Get back out of the car and then drive out of the parking lot. It's about 5 minutes worth of holding it together.
Can we not hit that line on your console
before you walk in?
Put your Bon Jovi CD case away with the white powder on it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you won't be geeking out while you're getting your turkey sandwich.
Let's just hold it all together for just a few more minutes.
And can we not hire people with track marks? I don't know. Is that anywhere on the application that, you have to look like a junkie to fix my sandwich? Because I don't feel good about putting this turkey sandwich that I'm about to consume in my body when it looks like you've been chewing on pavement for 6 months.
They're all gone.
All
you
them
can't
teeth.
Eat this sandwich.
All them teeth.
Just can't eat this sandwich no more.
I mean, come stop it, people. I mean, I know. I love.
That's all due respect. We love all of you. Let's just bring everybody up. Everybody's need to step their game up just a little bit.
I mean, we love living here. We could live in bigger cities. I love Nashville, and I mean, Cookeville's growing. But let's be honest. We love our little towns here.
Yeah.
But now, people,
let's drag it up.
Let's just go ahead and improve our style of living. We don't.
Yeah.
Let's don't chase that white line into an early death here. It's just getting. And let's not hire them for damn sure. I mean, let's put.
Well, I'm all about hiring them. Let's hire them, but then let's put some rules in place to where you have to come to work looking like something.
I'm just gonna start eating Reese's cups there. Probably not sandwiches anymore.
Yeah.
I prayed before I ate that sandwich right there.
he did. I asked him what he was doing. He said, I'm just hoping I don't get nothing right here.
We got to wrap this episode up. Like, we just need to go ahead and quit right now. My wife is pissed that we were recording this morning.
Shoot.
Because, I tell you what, I got a bad...
She's wanting to go swimming, right?
Well, I got a bad problem of thinking I say stuff out loud when I don't say it. So this morning...
I don't believe that. I don't believe that you don't say stuff out loud.
It's not that I refrain from saying stuff.
I mean, what I'm getting at is, it's hard for me to believe you're not talking, and if it's coming across your mind, I've never known you not to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads me to believe that your wife's not listening.
Well, maybe okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I'll go with that all day. But I feel like last night at some point I talked about the podcast this morning.
Yeah.
These early morning episodes are sometimes hard to do anyway.
Yeah, sometimes.
But we're on our game this morning.
Yeah.
No, we're not dragging ass.
No.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I did a line down there with the milk.
I went out, took my one boot off.
100% joke right here. I'm not a meth user, so just clear that air up for anybody that was confused by my 250-pound frame that I might be.
Yeah, if anybody's confused, I'm not on that meth. Your pounds away.
So, anyway, I looked this morning, and she was all balls to the wall for going swimming, and I get it. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
But when I said, all right, I got to be at Lucas's by about 9 or 9:30, we're interviewing Chris at 10. So, what? You never said one word. Why would you do it on Saturday when Saturday is the only day we have to do anything? You could have done it Saturday night. I said, I think we're going to eat for our anniversary tonight, Well, I don't know. I don't know that we will because our anniversary was yesterday. She only really has to be nice to me on that day.
Uh-huh.
This morning,
game over.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
As Marshall Mathers said. Tomorrow,
there goes gravity.
Damn bee rabbit. And we could have done it tomorrow, she says.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we couldn't have done it tomorrow.
Why?
Because we had to do it this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is,
we can do another one tomorrow if that's what she's asking for.
Digging up.
Yeah, we can do that.
So
good idea, Lindsay.
She, because she wants to go to the farthest pool away.
Oh, of course.
Not Standing Stone.
3 hours.
Of course, I don't know that Red Bull in Gainesboro is not exactly in business no more. But she wants to go to McMinnville. To Gillies.
Why? You ever been to McMinnville?
Have you met my wife?
That's true.
Logic goes out that window. Every window. Oh, last night I got her. Because you know how I told you she always does the little pouting every time we go in, whether it's going to a restaurant, to Nashville, to vacation. Either she's pissed because I'm not ready or Waylon's not ready or some outfit's not ready. Some outfit's not fitting right.
Yeah.
I'm just not going. going. And so we were just going to go get her car last night. Ricky Arms fixed it where it got hit. And then we were going to grab something to eat and just come home. And she was running back and forth. And I said, let's go. I mean, come on. I can't wait all night. You know what? I'm just not going. I'm not going. Just go. Just go without me.
How'd that go?
And I put my arms like this.
Yeah.
And I said, God dang, I've always wanted to do that. It felt so good. And she said, go to hell.
Went over like a lead balloon.
Mm-hmm. She stared at me. I said, honey, it's a joke. It's a joke.
I was kidding.
Go to hell. Shut up.
So how was your vacation and / work trip this week?
I went to the armpit of the South. It's Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
For 2 days. There is nothing to do in Little Rock.
There is, and the roads are crap.
Yeah, I've always heard that. And as soon as I crossed out of Memphis to Arkansas, I was like, brrr,
forever.
Garbage.
Yeah. Construction on both sides of the road ain't doing nothing.
I didn't leave my room in Little Rock. I drove all day Monday. Stayed in my room pretty much Monday night. They met the hotel bar. I called Lindsay and she said, "What'd you get?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
She said, "Did you get your steak or what?" I said, "No, I just got some jumbo shrimp and fries." And I said, "Screwed it up." She goes, "How do you screw up shrimp and fries?" And I said, "It's a damn good question."
Yeah.
But I left it laying. Anytime my fat ass leaves anything laying on the plate, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Then Tuesday, I went out I had done my calls, and then I was going out for dinner. Internet don't work on my phone. Just loading. My map's just loading.
Yeah.
So I get pissed off, get lost, because
Yeah.
I've got the worst sense of direction in the history. Passed like McDonald's like 5 times, Sonic, Taco Bell. I'm not trying to eat that for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find me a good restaurant. Finally get pissed off, go back to the hotel. So I'm suspecting it's going to be the same way Wednesday, whatever's going on my phone. So I handwrite my directions to Memphis, to every distributor that I was going to on Memphis.
Uh-huh.
And that's what happened. It would not load. I couldn't text anybody. Finally, Lindsay called, and I said, "Give me U.S. Sailor's customer service number."
Mm-hmm.
So I called U.S. Sailor. And blah, 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 blah. I told him what was going on. "Well, yes, Mr. Kennedy, we have tried notifying you actually a couple of times. You are actually over your sailor roaming charges." And I went all Allen Iverson. "Man, we talking about practice?" I said, "It's 2017. We talking about roaming?" I said, "I ain't heard the word roaming in at least 9 years."
Yeah.
I said, "How about U.S. Sailor to step their game up and come out and get in the..."
How about you just pay Verizon and let them, y'all go ahead and use some of the same towers or something. AT&T, anybody.
They said that they work with other places and towers and it bounces off. But they said, "It looks like your sailor roaming has went over the last 2 months." I said, "Well, I've been traveling for 2 months.
Yeah.
It's for work." I said, "But we're really talking about roaming?" I said, "We talking about roaming?"
Uh-huh.
Not a call.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to do too much Allen Iverson right now. But really, I mean, have you heard the word roaming in 10 years?
Just the other day, my telephone went completely out. I had to get a new SIM card. That guy said, "Oh, I see what's happening. You're roaming." I said, "Man, I'm sitting still. I ain't going anywhere." He goes, No, your phone is roaming." I said,
Get it?
"No, man. I'm in the same place I'm always at." He said, "Well, we've just lost you completely off of our system then. So I don't know where you're at." And I said, "You're gonna have to send me a new phone or something, man, or fix this or something." He sent me a new phone. So in the hotel bar, so I walk up, and there was this place called I don't know, I can't remember, Black Horse or.
You went to Knoxville.
I was in Knoxville, yeah. So I was at this kind of nice hotel, it's a Sheridan Hotel, 4 Points Sheridan, and
so you're blowing your money, your company. You're
it's actually
you're staying at the Ric Flair hotels. I'm over here at the Holiday Inns.
Yeah, you was at the Flea Bite Motel, and I was at the SPG Sheridan. Anyway, I walked over to ask the guy at the bar. I said, "Hey, where's the this Black Horse Brewery or whatever it was?" Because there was a group that was going down there. They weren't from my company. There was just some that was in the class with me.
Right.
While I'm standing there, this girl busts in the side door. She comes in like a green strapped shirt, shorts, and one flip flop. She said, "Where's Brenda? Really? Where is Brenda?" Didn't say hi to anybody. Didn't come up to the thing. She just comes in the door and said, "Where's Brenda?"
Legitimate question.
So I'm standing there, and there's a guy beside of me and a guy on the other side of me, and so I'm thinking neither one of these guys are Brenda.
Yeah.
And the guy,
We don't think.
yeah, as far as I knew, the guy behind the bar said, "I don't know what I don't know what the words you're saying are." She said, "Well, are you going to give me one of them drinks or not?"
Well, it's
Logical question, right?
Well, he's a bartender.
Logical
so,
next question.
You know.
He said, "Well, I mean, what is it you're wanting? Are you wanting a water or are you wanting, what do you want?" She said, "No, I'm wanting a Mellow Yellow." Well, obviously she wanted a Mellow Yellow. He said,
With a fudge pie, bitch.
"Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have one of those." She said, "What about Brenda?" He said, I can't give her one either. I don't have one."
Oh, man.
So he finally says, "I've only been here about 3 days. I don't know if a Brenda works here. Is she supposed to work here?" She said, "No, I don't know. But I wouldn't drink any of that stuff anyway." It turns around and walks out. I said, "Man, that's a pretty crazy thing to happen on your 3rd day." He said, "Man, I've been here about 5 years." He said, he said, "I was just getting rid of that girl. She comes in here about once a week."
Golly.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know that she wouldn't drink alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she wouldn't.
That's because she's got her priorities straight.
Yeah, she likes to ride those white lines, I believe, too.
Yeah, I believe. Why do...
Brenda could have been code word for who's the meth dealer.
Drugs, man, they're bad.
Yeah.
South Park told you that 20 years ago.
Drugs are bad.
I mean, they try telling you. God, people are nuts, man. I seen...
Did you make any big sales while you were out?
I hope made some good calls.
Good calls.
There was 2 or 3 that seemed promising, but
that's good.
Little Rock, just Little Rock was all okay. When I got to Memphis, and I called customer service there, and we went through the Roman thing, and then they said, "How have you liked U.S. Sailor?" I said, "I'm not usually one to complain, but it's kind of garbage."
Yeah, now it's sucking.
I said, I said, "You promised you were going to be a little cheaper than Verizon. That's not held up." I said, "Reception-wise," I said, "I have no problem." I said, I can talk anywhere I go. Mm-hmm. I said, "But man," I said, "everywhere I go,
there's an issue.
Outside of Hermitage Springs, Tennessee." I said, "Granted," I said, "when I used to eat at the Dairy Burger with Verizon, I couldn't get a text message. But if I want to go up there and have a 45-minute conversation and post up like a mailbox in there, I can talk all day in the Dairy Burger."
Yeah.
But generally, I'm not
going someplace else besides the Dairy Burger.
And I'm not there that often. I don't work there 9 to 5, so cell phone service at the Dairy Burger isn't that big of a deal. I said, but if I get outside of Hermitage Springs and Moss and Salina, I said, y'all kind of suck it up. I said, every year when I go to the beach, I said, if I'm not on Wi-Fi, I said, everybody, and this is not a lie, I had a meltdown moment on the cellular customer service people. I said, you know how people like to sit on the beach and take their little foot selfie? Even the man that shouldn't be doing it takes a little hairy foot selfie of the beach in front of him, like, my view for the next 5 days. I said, I can't even do that. I said, I can take the picture, but I can't post it until I get on the Wi-Fi. I said, y'all terrible. Yeah. I said, Indiana, Kentucky, Georgia, anywhere I go with U.S. Cellular that I try to use data that's not on Wi-Fi,
y'all suck.
You're garbage.
Yeah.
I said, you got another 11 months, 37 days with me.
I'm out
of here like last year. So and they said, well, you can get another gig for $15 a month or 3 for $40. I said, well, I don't give a shit what it costs for the rest of the day. I want it turned on today. I said, because I don't know how much you know about Memphis, Tennessee, but this is somewhere I don't want to be lost at because I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I said, turn it on today. I said, if you can have it on tomorrow till about 10, I said, we'll be good. Just enough to get me home. And they said, yeah, Mr. Kennedy, we'd love to do that.
Oh, yeah. We'd love to charge you another $15.
Probably did get charged for it. So,
oh, yeah.
I don't know. But I tell you what,
So your roaming takes up your data?
iMessage takes up data.
Really?
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So.
Them tricky bastards.
It's something all the time. But we can't live without them.
Well, we can. We just forgot how to.
Yeah. I mean, everything's on that little something gun.
Yeah. I was looking at a picture the other day and used to have a computer, used to have a calculator, used to have a camcorder, used to have a video camera, used to have a pencil and a paper and all that stuff, and now it's all in an iPhone.
Did you see that kid? They were I seen on SportsCenter the other day. He was taking a selfie with somebody, a player. So I just kind of half-assed caught it as I was getting ready in the hotel. Anyway, this kid run up to somebody at the game and was trying to take a selfie and had a flip phone. And they were making fun of him. They're like, "Oh, Uncle Jimmy hadn't upgraded, you know. Uncle Jimmy took him to the game. He hadn't upgraded his phone in a minute."
Yeah.
So, but I tell you what town I do love, and I got there I sat through Little Rock to get to Memphis. In Memphis, the calls were better in Memphis. I had better sales calls in Memphis. That evening, I got done pretty late. Man, hit up that rendezvous barbecue. Ooh.
That's your spot, ain't it?
I like it. I like it pretty good. I didn't like it when I first went because we're spoiled down here with real barbecue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was with a bunch of people from Texas, and we were debating whether or not barbecue was beef or pork.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
So, oh, man. Oh, got a text message. But
is it from Shrader saying that, hey, man, I ain't going to make it?
No, it's from Becky and Brad. They had to reschedule. Our anniversary is the same. So we're going to go out to eat. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. So is that where the random message of let's go to Cotton Eye Joe's came from?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I texted Lucas last night. I was in a group message with my friends Becky and Brad. They share the same anniversary with me and Lindsay. And I just said, hey, let's go to Cotton Eye Joe, yo.
I thought, no, that ain't happening.
Don't believe I will, which has been out of business for
years.
10 years at least.
Yeah.
That was our old spot back in college. But anyway, so I didn't like it before I went down there because I got a shoulder sandwich. And I was like, they got shoulder here? Which is surprising. Ended up being like, it was pulled pork.
Oh, right.
They called shoulder. I got the ribs and chicken this time, man. I tried to go out for a little bit after that and see Bill Street. I sat at Jerry Lawler's bar and just couldn't do nothing. I just sit there. Because I like to go in there and listen to a guy that plays music.
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of just letting my food settle. And I was damn near about ready to take a nap at the bar.
Right there at the bar.
Rendezvous hit the spot, man.
Yeah.
I love Memphis. A lot of people have this negative thought about Memphis, and I mean they should because a lot of people get murdered there. I turned on the news the first thing, and somebody was.
I'll say there's crime statistics that would support that decision to not go to Memphis.
But if you go downtown and you get a hotel right downtown, and you walk in the lights, you're all right.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's just you keep talking. Okay,
I can do that.
I'm gonna look up Memphis crime statistics.
Yeah, they were number 2 behind Baltimore for years on the number 2.
I bet Detroit's and Chicago's edged them out, but let's just see.
But I do love Bill Street. I mean, and Bill Street does what Broadway and Nashville should do. Nashville from 2nd Avenue to at least 5th Avenue, like me and Mackie was talking about the other day, should be shut down. There should be no traffic going through Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's getting to be there's people on that street, and you can't even walk on Broadway generally. Shut it down like they do Bill Street and I don't know.
So
okay, let's talk about
violent crime comparison from Memphis to the rest of Tennessee. 17.47 violent crimes per 1,000 people as compared to the 6 per 1,000 average for Tennessee.
Well,
you're 3 times more likely to get screwed up in Memphis.
Well, I mean, that's numbers.
Yeah. So 135 murders per 1,000.
Per 1,000 what?
People. No, I'm sorry, that's right, per 1,000. So let's see when these statistics were for.
That's some of these more damn dumbass analytical.
That's what I've been doing all week is statistics and analytics.
God.
I sat in class for from 7 o'clock in the morning until 5:30 in the evening doing statistics and analytics. 135 murders, 532 rapes, 3,134 robberies, and 7,657 assaults.
Those numbers sound more promising than being in an analytical class for 10 hours.
Yeah.
God, that's all I could hear when you were talking about rape and murder was analytics for 10 hours.
My chances of becoming a victim of property crime in Memphis is 1 in 18.
Well, I mean, it's not real high.
Yeah, 1 in 57 of a violent crime.
So you're going down every time you talk.
Yeah, sure.
I feel good about Memphis. I mean, there's Jerry Lawler's barbecue restaurant. There's Rendezvous. There's the Grizzlies. There's the Redbirds. I think Memphis is a fun town, and it's not as commercialized and pretty as Nashville is.
Hey, did you go see Elvis's house?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a lot of time really, but I just I went. I've been there, but I was like 12.
Yeah,
So
I'd love to go.
So I didn't carry really when I was 12. My grandpa did all kinds of cool stuff with me when he was on the road. But
yeah,
when you're 10, 11, 12, you just don't care.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't know what you're looking at. So let's compare that to Chicago. So you're statistically, Chicago is safer than Memphis.
Dang.
Yeah. Except for property crimes. 1 in 33 chance. No, you're 1 in 33 chance of having a property crime. 1 in 110 chance of having a violent crime against you. So I think the number of people in Chicago may skew that a little bit.
Yeah, I think Memphis is probably safer than Chicago. Right. Yeah, you'd be all right. Yeah, just walk get a hotel downtown.
Well, yeah, stay in the daylight.
Stay in the light. That's why. Well, that's why I spend so much money when we go to the Grizzlies games. I get the Westin. Close. I stay literally 200 feet from the building.
All right.
From the FedEx Forum. So, well, what kind of feedback did you get from last week's show?
Had some good feedback. I've not really seen anybody because, like I said, I've been out of town. I left Sunday.
Yeah.
And I've been out of town ever since. Just got back real late last night. So I haven't seen much people. So
we had some feedback online a little bit, and looking at our numbers, we had a
good week.
Had a big download number for last week. So that was and I don't know. More people keep talking about you.
About me?
About man, boy, Lucas is just really just starting to be Lucas. So
I don't know. Isn't that interesting?
I don't know who the hell you were for the first 50 episodes.
I was about to say, who was I?
But
I like this guy though. I'm going to stick with this guy.
I'm really hearing, man. What Lucas is just really just letting himself just have some fun. I said, well, I thought he was having some fun before.
Hey, I thought I was too.
But
it takes me a while.
If that's what our listeners believe, though.
Hey, perception's reality generally.
So I think you're a pretty fun guy.
Well, that's to be debated.
That is debatable sometimes. I'm just kidding.
I'm a bit of a stick in the mud because I kind of enjoyed the statistics and analytics that I did for the last week, and that's boring as shit.
Yeah, no, I don't even. God almighty, it's hard to listen to.
Yeah, it's fun though.
But anyway, yeah,
I'm gonna get some data and I'm gonna interpret it for the show. Yeah.
Cool.
I've got a process flow chart that we're gonna lay out, and we're gonna have a meeting after this, and we're gonna do a process flow chart.
Yeah, I gotta leave after this.
Oh, okay.
But I got a cousin, Andrew Meadows, would love to talk some statistics and analytics with you.
Hey, we'll bring him on here.
No, I'm just kidding. Jace called me last night. He was saying that was his favorite episode with just me and you without a guest, and
that's good.
He was trying to guess the characters in the story that we told. About the Alabama concert.
Yeah, they were. I'd had a couple people text me and say, "Who was this?" And I said, I can't tell you who. I ain't gonna tell you who these people were. Because one of the only ways I would wanted to tell stories on here is if they're completely confidential.
Yeah, and the funny
because we already had one guy tell us, "Say don't bring my name up on there again." I ain't gonna say whose name that is, but we'll.
Who was that? Look at me and say it. Who?
I'll just write it down.
Yeah, because I can't read lips, even big ass lips like yours.
Got a big ass head and big ass lip. Hey, no kidding about my big ass head. I've got a hat on right now. It's a new hat.
It's
giving me a headache. It's so tight. Yeah. This is a large, extra large flex fit.
It ain't flexing much.
It ain't flexing much.
It's flexed all it can flex.
I went into Rivergate Mall and I went over to the Lids. My sister's getting married. She was looking at wedding stuff. I said, "Hey, I'm going to Lids." I walked in. I said, "Hey, do you have what's your biggest hat?" He said,
"On that head."
He said, "Man, I don't know."
He said, "You tried a 5-gallon bucket?"
He said, I got maybe a large or like a 7.5 over here." I said, "Man, we're talking in two different things." I said, "Where's your flex fit stuff at?" Points me to it, and I pick up the large, and I just put it back down. He said, "That might work." I said, "No, it ain't gonna work, man." I picked up the large, extra large, and I put it on, and it was like every other hat I've ever put on. It's too tight to wear. I said, "Yeah, this will work." He's just staring at my head, man. He didn't say a word. He goes, "Yeah, that's not it." But he said, "That's the biggest one I got." And I said, "Yeah, that's my life, brother."
Oh man, it's giving a little bit right here.
The hat is, yeah. Well, I pulled it and stretched it and popped all the seams in it that I could, and we're off to the races now. I just got to go through my next haircut, and then it'll be better.
What kind of hat is that? I can't see.
Just a flex fit hat.
Just plain black?
Plain black.
Oh. It sure is.
Yeah.
Need to stitch a logo on there.
Well, I bought this I'm trying to think of logos for hats. And so I got this one so that I could play around and kind of have one hold in my hand and look at. And kind of decide what color that we might want to do a One Lane Road podcast hat for anybody that might be interested in one.
I know, because you're wearing the shirt today.
I've got the shirt on.
Feeling yourself a little bit today, wearing your own shirt.
You know, in my head, whenever I put this on, I had like a conversation in my head about it, right? And I said, "Is that your show?" Yeah. So shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
a walking billboard.
Stuff. Yeah, I'm a walking billboard.
I tried to find mine for the beach, and I couldn't find it. So
there's just so much of me that it looks like a billboard.
I believe our logo looked good on that hat, though.
Yeah, I believe it would too, and all yellow maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I kind of thought of gray too, maybe. So if anybody's got any suggestions on a color,
yeah, we're looking to do another shirt this summer, similar to last time.
With probably different colors. So shout out to DK and see what colors you'd want.
Color and logo scheme. Hat. We're looking at hats, maybe a snapback hat, and
maybe a trucker hat, and maybe some for you big-headed fellas out there.
And we're going to talk about doing a concert series like we did last year. Not series, but event like we did last year. We're just not going to be able to do it in July because, for one, July's here already. It's crazy and it's already here.
Yeah.
So we can't do it there. But we're going to play in one in the fall, and a lot of the same characters that sang last year. We're probably
maybe a different location or something.
Yeah, probably a different location. And the girl Paige that runs Dairy Burger, she wants to do something with us. We do it.
That'd be good. Be good.
And getting back to that story from last week before we got off on another segment. Funny not telling the names, actually, and you didn't tell me who said not to mention.
Yeah, literally just.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I could write a book on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's the best stories, and he said, don't bring my name up. So, but he didn't say we couldn't tell the stories. He just said, don't bring my name up.
Yeah. Well, there's so many stories on that guy.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him because, good Lord, there's.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want some of them told either.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And it's funny, the guy that we did tell the story on last week, I kind of was like, in the back of my mind as I was telling, I was like, I hope he didn't mind us telling this.
Yeah.
And I know he listens, and I know he's a friend of ours and everything. And I thought, maybe if we don't mention it. So he texted us in a group text and said, "Hey guys, really enjoyed the episode. Thank you for not mentioning my name." But I think he didn't. He just said he didn't mind to tell the story.
Yeah. Hey, you got some good feedback on some stuff you posted on Facebook. As far as who are some of the guests you guys would like to see coming up on the show this year, Wesley Davis said President Trump and Obama.
Seems like a
viable
option.
Yeah, we get that. This is right up our alley. I don't know how I got away from this. This is my Facebook savviness right here.
Yeah, because we went from looking at our One Lane Road podcast, now we're looking at Ryan Hammer's child.
Yeah.
It looks just like him.
Yeah, good-looking kid, Ryan, but I did not mean to get on your page somehow. I'm just technically inadequate here.
Chris Shrader just called also, too. So
is he? He
just called about 3 minutes ago, so we need to, after we get these comments, I texted him and said we'd call him right back after this segment. So
yeah. Ryan Hammer said Elvie Shane, Corey Davis. Now, I'm assuming that's a different Corey Davis than the one that we know.
Well, that's probably Titans' first-round pick, Corey Davis, and not the guy that we went to high school with.
Yeah. Carlos Huesca wants Juan Mackey, which I'm assuming is Carlos Huesca.
That is his alter ego, yes.
Ward Davis, which is from Thad Johnson, which is a good call.
Suggestion. I've reached out to him on Twitter. I think it's probably a management deal where you have to reach out to management like I have with other musicians. Read the rest of...
he was hiring a giraffe's ass whenever I seen him last time.
Yeah. Read the rest of Ryan's suggestions. It wasn't just Elvie Shane.
Yeah, let me get back down there again. I don't know what I've done here, but... Carlos said Bruce Jingles. Who is Bruce Jingles?
He's a comedian that I did reach out to. He's interested, and we're going to set that up.
Nice.
And that'll be a heavily explicit, from what I've listened to on him online.
Yeah, we'll get it. Jackie Meyer said round 2 of James and DK on Shaq.
Oh, and did you see what I tagged you in this week on Facebook?
I did see that.
Yes,
I did see
both of you. Shaq bombing threes.
Yeah,
the black Steph Curry.
Absolutely, yeah. That was hilarious. The black Steph Curry.
Since Steph Curry is black.
Yeah,
but
also he didn't have anybody guarding him.
It doesn't matter.
Andrew Meta said Florida Georgia line, which get off our Facebook.
I'll get Sam Hunt before I get Florida Georgia line.
Yeah. Cody Jinks says Travis Humphrey, which would be fantastic. Matt Mayberry.
Cody Jinks didn't say that. I wish Cody Jinks would say that.
I said was Cody Jinks says Travis Humphrey.
Says Travis Humphrey.
Uh-huh.
So Cody Jinks wants Travis Humphrey on the show?
You need to learn English. Travis Humphrey says Cody Jinks, Matt Mayberry, and Travis Humphrey, which I'm down for the Matt Mayberry, Travis Humphrey if they want to get in here and sing around a little bit.
Yeah.
So Brandon Gregory says he thinks that he can get Casey Gregory to fill in for Kate Upton.
Yeah.
How about them apples?
So he wants us to look at his wife in a bikini is what he's saying.
That's what I heard. So
Sharon's
make that happen. That's a good friend. So Ryan Hammer gave us a big list here. LV Shane has come in later and said, I'll make it up there.
And at this point, we don't have to have you in studio because I think he was confused where Harmony Springs was at anyway.
That's all right. We can call you.
We can call you, LV.
Cody Jenks, Jason Isbell. Jason Isbell would be fantastic. Stapleton, that's kind of a little pie in the sky right now, but maybe.
Yeah.
Mick Foley. Mick Foley would be fantastic. I would love to have Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Gold Dust. And then Val.
Gold Dust.
And then Val Venus.
Yeah. You remember Val Venus?
Oh, yeah. He also said any Asian.
Yeah. Seems wide open.
Yeah. Your local Schwan guy. All right. Or a stripper from the University of Florida scandal. University of Louisville scandal. Okay. And then probably your local Schwan guy, though.
Do we have Schwan guys?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We do.
Yeah, I don't think they're local anymore.
Okay.
And then, like I said, Wesley said President Trump or Obama and Obama at the same time.
Huh.
Well.
All right, guys. Well, we will do our due diligence on that list.
Yeah, on the list there. And then he's going to add Rob Bailey in on that list, too, trying to reach out to him.
I've also got, and it probably, I don't know how much it'll excite you. Probably not at all. But there's a guy named Conrad.
Rob Bailey's not going to excite anybody but me, probably.
Well, there's a guy named Conrad Thompson that I've reached out to. He's a mortgage broker from Huntsville, Alabama, but he's big buddies with Ric Flair.
Okay.
And he's our age, about our age. Done a podcast with Ric Flair for several months until Flair kind of... Man! By God! Gene. Anyway, he done a podcast with Flair for a while before Flair decided he didn't like to do podcasts, I guess. But anyway, now he does like two of the biggest podcasts on the planet doing wrestling stuff with Bruce Pritchard, who was Vince McMahon's like right-hand man for 30 years, and also Tony Schiavone. And it's through the roof what they're doing on the podcast. Huh. But I figured you might want to talk a little bit of like the business side with mortgage.
Yeah, I would say I might have business in common with him, but boy, this wrestling.
But I mean, I can imagine some of the Ric Flair stories he might tell.
Yeah, there's going to be some good stories in there. I can see that one.
But I mean, we talked in January, and he said yes. Back then, it just kind of
fell apart.
Knowing that you don't love that style of stuff, I kind of just stayed away for a while. But then he was actually on Trey's podcast, and I didn't think that they didn't talk as much. They'd ask him a question, then they'd kind of not let him talk as much.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, this guy's pretty witty.
Yeah. Okay.
Trey Crowder.
Yeah.
And his two buddies that he does comedy with. They have the well-read, the whatever they're called, the podcast. Uh-huh. And I've never really listened to any of their podcasts. They had Wheeler Walker on there. Mm-hmm. I hadn't listened to it. But and then they've got they had one with Conrad. I said, I'll check it out. But the sound quality was kind of off a little bit. They were at his house, and it just kind of echoed like it was for our Clay County episode. So I listened to a few minutes of it, and like I said, he wasn't answering he wasn't getting to answer a whole lot of what I heard, and so I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, maybe not.
I'll try to listen. I'll try to book him, and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, Tuesday nights are good for me. So
yeah, we can make that work.
I think July 5th is what we're trying to work it out with him.
Okay, if I'm in town, yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, let's get to Chris Shrader. This is an interview we've been building up for a few weeks, and we've finally been able to get on each other's right schedule, as long as he has not fallen asleep on us in the last 10 minutes.
All right. All right, everybody. We're on the phone with Chris Shrader. We've been trying to get in touch with him for a little bit of time here now. Chris Shrader is a musician, country musician, up and coming through Nashville. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for getting on here with us, man. We've been trying to get in touch with, and both of us, our schedules don't overlap much.
Not very often.
Right.
The last time we just got done when you called me, and I was actually heading back to my house, and you hadn't been down here yet. Well, the invitation's been out there for you guys to come down and visit with us, but the service is sketchy at best between my house and Lucas's house.
Yeah. So. You get this Wi-Fi service when you get here, and that's about all you got.
I didn't figure it was worth even answering the phone so you could hear it
and then gone
going on for
call drop.
So
it's all good.
Yeah, man. So glad to have you. Like I said, early morning edition. We usually don't do early mornings, and I'm sure a nighttime edition would have been better for you. But glad to have you. And we're just going to kind of begin like, where are you from, and tell us a little bit about your background before we get into your music. Where did you grow up at, and when did you start playing music?
Well, my family's always played. I'm from Pulaski, Tennessee. Exit 22 on I-65 on the Alabama-Tennessee state line. Raised by my grandparents, so I was had a lot of older style country music forced fed to me. My dad, and his, which I don't complain. I love it. That's the good stuff. My dad. He and his brothers had a band where they played, and they would play what we call shindigs down in Pulaski. I don't know if y'all know what they are, but
say shindig.
Yeah, that's what we call them too.
My dad and his brothers would go play all these little shindigs, and so from the time I was in a stroller and crib or whatever. They would take me to these places, so they would play, and I didn't. They tried to get me a guitar whenever I was younger. Somebody gave me a guitar, and I didn't play it. I just kind of strummed it, and I wasn't no good. I was awful. And then I got drums when I was 8. And that didn't last but maybe a week or two. Mama ended it. It wasn't that like I was just so bad that I just wanted to quit. Mama ended it. I wasn't allowed to practice, so it's kind of hard to get good at drums if you don't practice.
Yeah, they're a little bit louder than what everybody's expect them to be.
So drums was out, and then I just played sports. Sports is my thing. I played football, baseball, basketball, golf. If it was round, I thought I could play it. So I went to high school. I didn't play anything. I just played sports. And went to Lawrence County High School, and it's the next county over. It wasn't Giles County. I'm from Giles County, but I went to Lawrence County. I'm on the county line, so I got to kind of pick which one I wanted to go to. And when I was 14, for Christmas, my dad started paying attention that I realized that it was kind of rare that a 14-year-old kid liked bluegrass music. And
no doubt,
I listened to Bill Monroe a lot, and Ralph Stanley, and Flat Scruggs, and Marty Stewart, and Ricky Skaggs, and Alison Krauss. I was listening to all those people. And it wasn't that I was just raised up that way. It was just that's the type of music that I liked. I appreciated it. And so my dad gave me a mandolin when I was 14. And I took like 2 lessons, and I had to leave baseball practice both times to go to my mandolin practice. And I got made fun of by all my friends on the baseball team. Because they was like, "What's a mandolin?" I was like, "Well, it looks like a fiddle, but you play it like a guitar." And it's kind of hard. It's really, really hard to make something that small look cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I didn't really want to go for it as hard as I was because I got a little embarrassed. But also, like whenever I was younger, like there were some older kids. I always hung out with older kids because I don't know. I wanted to be tougher, and that's just who was. That's who I was around, with older kids. So I guess it made me tougher in the process. And but they found I think I was in the 6th grade, and they found my notebook. I've been writing. I was writing poetry in there, or trying to write a song. And found it, made fun of me, and I quit writing. I was like, forget this. And so I didn't do that anymore. I didn't do anything. Quit playing music. And my family always played. We would get together for like in the summer for picking and grinnings, or just family reunions and whatnot, and everybody played. But we didn't come from anything. So like, my dad and I, he was always working, like doing side jobs. He was an electrician. He was a plumber. He was propane, natural gas. He could do anything with it. And I'd always help him out. And because, number one, that's my dad. When dad says something, you don't have a choice.
Uh-huh.
And two, we were broke. So that's my job. And he always I would work with him all week. And then if we had a family gathering, I wouldn't get my money until I sang.
Oh.
He'd make me sing to give me money.
It gives you a little motivation.
Make me sing to give me my money.
Yeah, pushed you out there, get you out of your comfort zone a little, right?
So it's kind of like whenever I tell people, like, there's like, how long have you been doing this? And I just look at them, I was like, man, I've been singing for money all my life. I have.
I can relate to the, as far as that kind of music, and that is pretty rare for bluegrass to hit you that young, because, I mean, as you know, through listening to me and talking to me, I'm a huge old school country music.
Texas country guy. We've hung out, went to a concert before. You're a Texas country guy. You like Cody Jinks and Casey Donahue, people like that.
Yeah, all that. Then of course the traditional George Jones, Waylon, Hank Jr. But when you're 16, 17, and you're close to our age, so it's like. In certain circles, that Hank Jr. stuff's cool, but when we were in high school, it was the Nellies and Jay-Z's and Eminems and all these guys that were hitting, and that's what everybody thinks you should listen to. So when you're listening to a Waylon Jennings song that's 30 years old, everybody's kind of like,
yeah,
it's not so cool.
What are you listening to?
Yeah, but you said Marty Stewart. Marty Stewart kind of made it cool again. Made that bluegrass music cool whenever he come out with.
He sure did.
He come out there and played that rockabilly bluegrass, man. That was the stuff.
Man, when he come out there with Hillbilly Rock,
yeah,
I was like, what?
Yeah. You can do that with bluegrass? Yeah, he was the shit.
That's fun, man.
Yeah.
So
people like that kind of got me going and got me kind of get into it. So dad is what would make me sing. But my dad passed away. I was raised by my grandparents, like I said earlier. So my dad passed away when I was 20. I wound up, when I in high school, like I said, sports was the thing. I walked on at West Alabama and for football. I led the state in sacks my senior year here, and then wound up going to West Alabama and walking on with my mom, my grandmother. She got colon cancer. So I moved back home, helped out with my dad, got a job at Johnson Controls at a factory.
God bless you
down
there.
in Pulaski on second shift, and was working down there. And Mom wound up beating it, so she's completely cancer free. So she's awesome.
That's awesome.
Dad wound up, in the process. He wound up went in for like a gallbladder surgery, and he wound up passing away like 3 months later.
Oof.
And he never got to see me play, but he was the one that's always kind of pushed me toward that.
Yeah.
And he showed me a G chord. There's thanks to the G chord. There's a song by John Michael Montgomery, but that song came out when I was like 15, 16 years old. And my dad had an old Gibson Southern Jumbo badass guitar. My cousin, Tony, my first cousin, he has it, and he takes really good care of it. It was promised to him like pretty much the day he was born. And I saw that guitar, and I was like, man, I really want to kind of learn how to play it. And I asked Dad if he could show me a G chord because of that song. And he did. And that's the only chord that he showed me. Not because he didn't have time for anything, because I didn't ask. And when my dad passed away at 20, I was like, man, I kind of want to play the song, So picked up the guitar, strummed it, sucked. Absolutely sucked. And taught myself how to play off the internet. Off dial-up internet. It wasn't easy. Because I do live out in the sticks. We didn't have no. I mean, there was DSL or some high speed, but we didn't have it.
Yeah, I hear you.
And
my daddy wouldn't even get the internet.
Dude, I didn't have a computer until I was 18. So I was a senior in high school. I didn't have satellite or cable TV until I was 17 years old. I had 7 channels until I was that old. I didn't get some sports. Being a sports nut, and you know how much of a sports nut I am, man. That was like the biggest letdown as a kid. But I mean, honestly, I had a great life because we didn't have much on the TV, so I found shit to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's why you're still in good shape now, because you didn't have that TV to keep you inside, play video games and stuff on.
Oh, I played them, son. Don't think I didn't. but
yeah, I saw that post you made the other day about Sega Genesis, and it took me back, man.
Oh man, primetime football. What? Don't get me started.
I'll take you.
Football was my jam.
I'll beat that ass on NBA Jam Tournament Edition right now.
Y'all tournament edition. That's the one with Shaq in it, right? Because one of them had Shaq in it, one of them didn't.
Yeah.
One of them had Shaq and one of them didn't.
Which is a shame because he should be in every video game ever.
I don't think Shaq is an automatic cheat code, no matter what you're playing. Just having Shaq is a cheat code.
Exactly right, and everybody needs to realize that. And I will beat that ass on Shaq Fu while we're talking about it.
Oh no, I'll mess you up on Shaq Fu.
The candy bar. I had the Shaq candy bar. Remember the Shaq candy bar came out? I had one of them.
You missed a couple episodes ago. We've had our Shaq rant. I've got the awfulest Shaq collection of everything. Like anything Shaq's endorsed, I own it.
He's got a life-size Shaq cutout. He's a grown man. He's a grown-ass man. He's got a life-size Shaq cutout.
Well,
it's just in my living room, so it's not like it's in a weird spot or anything.
It's just in my living room. It's not like I can get in the mural or anything.
That's right, man. No, it's in storage. I need to find it, make sure, see what kind of condition it's in. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
go.
Man. It was awesome. Sega Genesis was the thing. Like I had the regular Nintendo. That was all Tecmo Super Bowl and Off Road and Excite Bike and Super Mario Bros. 3.
I don't know. Yeah.
And
I don't know about you.
I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that was pretty cool. It was almost like Zelda, but it wasn't.
See, the difference between our generation and this generation is they just play video games nonstop. Like I remember with my best friend back then, we would play like 5 hours of NBA Jam, then we'd go outside and play like 4 hours on the goal outside and better our games. Then we'd come back in and the rest of the night and play. So there was a mixture, right?
That was us.
Yeah, we'd go get in the pool for a little while, whatever. He had a pool at his house, and so we did.
Well, there was a creek in my yard. I didn't have a pool. I asked my dad. I was like, man, a lot of my friends at school got pools. He goes, what do you need a pool for? You got a creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
It's not a pool. He goes, it's not a pool. He goes, well, they don't have a creek.
You know,
I was like, all right.
And that's what I played. We didn't have a pool at my house either. We played in the creek. And now looking back at it, I don't want my kids in those creeks because my dad just killed 5 copperheads in one time the other day in the creek by our house.
In the creek? Wow.
Yeah, there was. He told me, I couldn't believe it. He said that there was. He said, you ain't gonna believe how many copperheads I killed. And I said, how many? He said 4. I shot at 5. I know I killed 4 of them. He said there's a big brush pile that when it stormed last time.
Oh, they're getting a brush in a heartbeat. That's their home.
It went downstream right there, right by his house.
We shot one time that had 38 babies in it.
Ooh.
Like there was one on my cattle farm. Had 38 babies in it.
That's 39 too many.
That was there was not any left after that day. Just saying. But there was a brush pile. We had I grew up. We had a 64-acre farm. Nothing flat land. It was all hilled and everything. Nothing anymore, But it's a great hunting land. Got 2 ponds and all kinds of stuff on it. But they had a brush pile right there, kind of right there next to one of the bigger ponds. Pretty much kind of what you had going on.
Yeah.
And that's what they like, man. That's what they like.
Well, so as you progressed your music career, I know you went through some other adversities getting to where you're at today. Tell us. I know you had a wreck.
It kind of leads right in there because, like I was saying, Dad passed away at 20.
Yeah.
And then I started picking up the guitar, and then teaching myself. So like I would play with my family again out, at family reunions and stuff. But we also played just about every Friday night at this one little shindig up there where my dad and his brothers used to play for a little while. And then I was 22, and it was 2007, and I had a car wreck. I worked for Home Depot, and I was going to give an estimate. So basically, my job with them was I sold roofs, I sold siding, attic installation.
Right.
I sold the job, and so I went out, and I was supposed to go do a fence. But the thing about it was that I was already off. I ran all my appointments, every single one of my appointments. And my boss called me, and he was like, "Hey, man, you think you can run an appointment for me in Pulaski? I know you're still there." And I was like, what time? I was like, "Cause my girlfriend at the time, I was like, we got plans to be back in Florence. We lived in Florence, Alabama at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where we were staying." And he's like, this other guy, it's his appointment, but he's on the other side of Florence, and he's not going to be able to make it. And this was at like 4:30. And I said, all right, man, I'll run it for you. And I got my check and left, and I just got my softball bat. I was playing a lot of softball band, and something wasn't right with it, and I was mad. And I was calling one of my friends, bitch about this softball bat and how it wasn't right. And as I'm on the phone trying to bitch about it, I see a state trooper, coming, and I didn't have my seatbelt buckled at that time. So I passed him it, and that right there saved my life. So I drive up to the road, and I make a left on the road that I wrecked on. I was only on the road for about 30 seconds, maybe a little longer, but not much more than that. And I got blinded by the sun going into a curve. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody out there has been blinded by the sun at some point in their life whenever you're driving.
Yeah.
And every time I've always tried to look off, look back up, look off, look back up, just, try to freshen my eyes up just a little. And that didn't work. So, I've already let up off the gas, and I was in a curve. And before I knew it, I was on the other side of the road, and I hit a 3/4 ton truck with a crane on the back.
Ooh.
And about 35, 40 miles an hour.
Oof.
Head on.
Oof.
Before that day, I can't tell you, I've been hit in the face with a baseball bat and didn't break a bone. I hit in the nose with a baseball bat and didn't break my nose. In my life, there were so many things like playing sports, doing this and doing that, and I didn't get hurt because I had never been hurt in my life. Never broke a bone, nothing. That day, I think I broke every damn thing I needed.
Oh,
yeah.
I crushed my left elbow. I snapped my left thigh. My right shin completely snapped. It was protruding. So was my elbow. I broke my left hip. Not my left hip. I broke my ass. My lacerated my spleen. I lost a big part of my colon. But I'm not on a colostomy bag or anything like that. But very, very close. What else did I do? I lost my gallbladder. They had to take it. I had 22 surgeries since 2007. Most of them are on my legs.
So what are the doctors saying at this point?
At this point, like whenever it was happening, I don't know, like kind of like when I wrecked, I remember the story. Like everybody's always like, do you remember your wreck? I remember it vividly. Like when I woke up, like instantly, I was trying to get out of my truck, and I had an F-150, and it wouldn't open. The door wouldn't open. So that kind of made me panic a little. And I saw this lady walking around, and I said, "Ma'am," I said, "my legs are on fire. You're going to help me get out of here, please." she says, baby, there ain't nothing I can do. You just have to wait on the ambulance. And I laid my head back, in my chair, and I'm just sitting there. And ambulance people, the EMTs get there, and they get up on the truck, and they start asking me about, they get up on my dashboard and whatnot, and they ask me questions, and I'm answering them like literally, because I didn't. My football coaches always told me there's a difference between being hurt and being injured, and if you're injured, if you're hurt, you can play hurt, but you can't play injured. And while I was sitting there talking to those people, they were asking me my name, and I was like, my name's Chris Shrader, and he's like, I was like, I live at, this address, and I'm reaching for my wallet. I was like, hold on a minute, let me help you out. Like, shock and adrenaline, had already taken hold.
Yeah.
And that was whenever they just looked at me, and they was like, and I could tell it on their face. That big. They was like, sir, you don't need to move. And then I was like, it just hit you like a ton of bricks. It's like, oh, it's me this time. It's supposed to be me, but it's me. And so I just sat there and waited. And I told them, make sure to tell my girlfriend at that time I loved her, and I loved her family. And so they, I told them that my door wasn't open, and they said, well, shit, we're going to have to cut you out of there. So I know I got cut out of my truck, but I don't remember getting cut out of my truck. I remember them pulling me out of my truck, and they told me that it was going to hurt. And I was like, I don't care, just get me out of here,
Yeah.
And they pulled me out, and I screamed all my leg. I passed out from the pain, and I woke up another time whenever they because I know the chopper was here. But whenever I was sitting there on the thing, right before they pulled me out, whenever the EMTs were talking to me, I was losing a lot of blood, and when you lose a lot of blood, you're going to pass out. There's no getting around it. And so I was losing my blood. I lost the blood, and they were snapping their fingers at me. And they were saying, Chris, stay with us. Chris, stay with us. And I passed out. But I could hear everything that was going on around me. Literally, I could hear everything that was going on around me, word for word. But I couldn't respond. I couldn't talk. I didn't have it,
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I passed out, I heard them say, we lost him. And that's when I thought I died.
God,
I thought I was. I did. I thought that I was dead.
Holy crap!
So everything. If I wasn't dead, I would die. And so I did. I did what anybody would do. I just started praying. And then they got me on my truck. Then I passed out. Then they put me on the gurney. I raised my head one more time whenever they put me in the ambulance. And they shut the door. And then they got me to the hospital and did surgery for I don't know how many hours. And got me out. In the recovery room, I woke up. And every damn body was in there. It was like I had committed a crime because was in there. They were in there and they asked me. It was my mom. It was my birth mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my girlfriend, her mom, dad, everybody, all my cousins. It was like my brothers. They were like, do you know that you had a wreck? I shook my head, yeah. They asked me if I was hurt, and I shook my head, yeah. And then they said, and whenever I started looking down, and I realized that I was like strapped to a bed, and I didn't understand why. I kind of started freaking out, and then they had to get everybody out of there, and then they put me into a coma for 28 days. I was in a medically induced coma for 28 days.
Wow.
I was in ICU for over a month. I was in a wheelchair for 4 months. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do a lot. All over again at 22. So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
That's
a crazy story, brother.
I didn't play music out. And this is where my music story comes in.
Right.
I didn't play music out. I only played with my family. I sucked at the guitar. I sucked at the mandolin. Mama done made me quit drums like 3 weeks in.
Right.
So I didn't have any instrument, you know. And I'm sitting there rehabbing from all these surgeries I'm having. And there's a guitar sticker. And Merle Haggard's my all-time favorite. He was my dad's favorite. He's my favorite. My second favorite is there at church. That guy changed my life. He's watching his show at the Fiddle and Steel. Made me move to Nashville.
What year did you move to Nashville?
I moved in 2011.
Okay.
I was coming up here since the week of the flood. The week before the flood in 2010.
Yep.
I was already playing gigs up here, but I've been trying to come up here for a while. So I'm sitting there, and I wanted to play the guitar better. I'm learning Eric Church songs and Corey Smith songs, and I'm playing for my girlfriend, my best friend since kindergarten, his girlfriend, in 4 walls. If I got drunk enough.
Yeah.
And then one day, my girlfriend comes home. Cliche is all get out. Like, I shit you not, man. It's cliche is all get out. She comes home with a newspaper, circled in red, says musicians, singers wanted. You know, come try out. So she brings it to me and she's like, you need to try out for this. And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I think you should do this. And I was like, all right. So I grabbed a piece of paper, and I called man up. And I said, hey man, I saw your ad in the paper for a band. I said, I'd like to take you up on that. I'd like to come try out. And he goes, where are you playing at? And I go, I'm not really playing anywhere right now. And he goes, where did you play at? And I go, I haven't really played anywhere besides with my family out, you know. He goes, okay. He goes, do you have a demo? And I ain't afraid to say it. I said, what's that? I didn't know what a demo was. I didn't. I said, what's that? And he goes, do you have a recording of you singing and whatnot? And I said, no. I said, but my girlfriend's daddy, he's got like a computer and he does some commercials and whatnot. I can do some karaoke track. And he goes, nah. He goes, I think we're good. And I go, man, why don't you just meet me? And he goes, no, we're good. And he goes, son, do you even have a guitar? And I said, yes, sir. I got a guitar. I have one. I said, look, I know what you're thinking. I said, I'm the director of sales and marketing. I would be thinking the same damn thing. I was like, but you don't know somebody's heart. And I said, let me show up. And I said, I promise you, I won't be the worst one there. That's all I can promise, but I will not be the worst one there.
Yeah.
And no shit, he says, nah, we're good. I said, dude, I heard some buzz saws and shit going on in the background. And I said, are you at that bar? And he goes, yeah. He said, I'm only going to be here for 10 more minutes. I said, I'll see you in 5. I hopped my ass in the truck, and I flew from Florence over to the other side of the river in most of the shows to get to that bar, and I talked to him. And he's like, sing to me right here. And I said, I want this gig more than you know, but I'm not going to sing you in the parking lot. And I said, let me do what I told you. He did. Then he let me show up, and there was about 50 people there whenever I showed up, and I got the gig out of all of them. So I
Awesome.
went from playing for nobody, my girlfriend, and my best friend and his girlfriend, 4 walls, to playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night down at most shows. and we had seating for 400 people. There was a place for a mechanical bull, a huge dance floor, and 3 bars. So I went from nothing to something overnight. It was just ridiculous.
That had to help your confidence. That had to help your confidence going forward.
No, it didn't. It didn't. What it did was it boxed me up because I was stepping on stage with, like, you combined everybody's years of experience. I'm stepping on stage with about 120 years worth of experience on stage, and I'm sitting here on gig 1. And a lot of those people have paid their dues, and here I have paid nothing. And this is my first gig. And that pissed them off.
Okay.
It really, 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 really did. They had been working hard. They had people that they wanted to work with. And basically, I never tried out for American Idol or The Voice or any of that stuff. But let me tell you something. When I had that gig, that's damn sure what it was. Because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, they were bringing somebody in there to sing with me on that show. And every time, for the first 4 months, I'd stay and they win. And I didn't have any experience, you know, so I was learning. But also, it was easier for them to keep me around because everybody else was making $125 a man, and I was making $50.
Yeah.
So I was an asset, you know.
How long did it take to get their confidence or to get their backing?
I never got it. I got fired in 4 months.
Okay.
So I got fired. I pouted for about a month. I didn't cry, didn't do none of that stuff, but I pouted for about a month. Yeah. I really didn't want to play. I didn't even want to quit playing. So I went back home for the weekend, and we went to this bar in Pulaski, Tennessee called Kathy's Tavern. One of the first bars, the first bar that I played at on my own out, you know, going to book myself.
Right.
And I went there, and Brian White, me and Becky Lynn, Ring Around the Roses.
Yep.
Him and his brother were playing an acoustic gig there. And I talked to Kathy and I told her what had happened, you know, down in Alabama, and that I didn't want to quit playing, that I wanted to keep it on. And she was like, "Well, we'll give you an acoustic night whenever we can." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Can you do next Friday?" And I was like, "Sure." So me, my cousin Tony, who's like my brother, he's like, "Man, we can get Arthur to play and Arthur to play with you." And I was like, "Cool." Well, I went to school with Arthur, but he was a little younger than me. You know what I mean? And Arthur's a cool guy. Known him for a long time. So we played the show. We had about 60 people show up, and had a great night. I had to think about you having to edit this because I've told the story so many times, and there's a different way that I tell it. I just started thinking. I was like, he might listen to this, so I better calm it down just a little bit.
Well, anyway, tell the other version. Yeah, I want to hear the version that you don't want to tell.
Yeah.
The real version is this: is I went to school with Arthur. Arthur was borderline special ed, but he took some special classes, but it wasn't. He just had a learning disability. He was kind of slower than everybody else, but he played the guitar real good
and play with popsicle.
And so. Whatever he wanted, I don't give a shit. He could be Redneck Rain Man for all I give a shit. If he can play the guitar, I'm good.
Yeah.
So anyway, Arthur, Tony was like, "We can get Arthur," and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, "Man, Arthur's in special class. I don't know if I can, be bringing him out there, and he might start throwing noodles at people and shit. I don't know." And so he's like, "All right." So we played, and Arthur could play the guitar pretty decent, but it wasn't like the best thing I ever heard, but it wasn't the worst thing, you know. So I was like, "All right, come on." So we played the show. Had about 60 people show up, and the owner, she never gave me a dime ever. She never gave me a dime. She was like, because she told me up front, she's like, "We ain't gonna pay you. You're only gonna get the door. We get what we get." And I'm like, "All right, fine." Just wanted to play. So then, we played the first show. She's like, "Y'all want to come back and do it again?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we did. And then after the second one, she was like, "No, Chris, you're pretty good at this. You need to get a band around you." And I was like, "All right." I said I can do. And when I said I could do, I started right then because her husband's dull. And Dole had played in many a band back in the day, you know, traveling around playing little bars here and there, you know. I was like, no, you play bass, don't you? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, no, you play bass. Tommy play guitar. I play guitar. I'll find us a drummer. I come up to Nashville, found one, brought him down there, had a good show, or a decent show. Except for the drummer, I always helped people. I still do. If somebody travels for me, I load their stuff up and I unload it for them. I just feel like it's just a nice gesture. If somebody's doing something nice to me, I want to do something nice to them.
Right.
So I was helping him load up his stuff. We're doing it. And he goes, Chris, you know, you're pretty good. But you heard this about these guys. And I was like, what can I do? I was like, that's my brother, and that's Arthur. I mean, what am I supposed to do? And he goes, I don't know. He says, just tell me. He's like, you know, you have some real talent, but you need to do something with it. And I was like, okay. So back when Craigslist was cool, before there was a killer and rapers and all that kind of shit, I went to Craigslist, and honestly, I found my best friend in the world, Eddie Robinson. Changed my life. He plays guitar for Frankie Ballard. He's a band leader. He's their lead guitar player, and he's been Frankie's friend since high school. And I was very descriptive about what I wanted, and he answered me back, and he was like, "Hey man, just wanted to touch base with you and see about this gig, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, it pays $100. I'll feed you, and I'll buy you a shot." that was my deal. I paid $100, bought a shot, and bought a meal.
That's a good deal.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll come down there." He goes, you know, after he got talking with me, he started to realize that I didn't really have a band. And he goes, "Do you need me to bring you a band?" And it was just like any animation where your just jaw drops and your tongue falls out. I was like, "You mean you can do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can do that." I was like, "Yeah, I need a band." So he's like, "Okay." So then he brought me Victor Broden, who at the time was playing. He's been Richard Mark's bassist forever, and but he played at that time. He was with Randy Houser, doing boots on and stuff like that. And then he brought Keto Stroud, which wound up being my roommate for the first 3 years that I lived in Nashville. And he had played for Shadazy and Miranda Lambert. He's been on ACMs with Keith Urban, and he's big and Rich's drummer now. He's been with Hackwood Hazard. All those guys introduced me to everybody that that little circle, meeting Eddie, is what changed my life, because he introduced me to this person, introduced me to this person, and he always stayed around. You know, they were always like, you can call us anytime that you need it. So I was recruiting all these badass players, if they're road players, because I wanted what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I needed it to be a certain way. There has to be. There has to be a standard. If there's not one, you're spinning your wheels. But there was a standard that I wanted to keep, and pretty much the road players, if they come in off the road and they didn't have a gig, the word was, if Shrader calls you might want to take it. He's a pretty cool dude, and he pays decent. So I was getting people to come down, and after about a year and a half of that, they started recruiting me to come up here.
Yeah.
And they was like, "Man," they're like, "You need to come up to Nashville." He's like, "You're better than a lot of them already up there." I'm like, "Nah, not really." They're like, "Yeah, you are." And I was like, "All right." So one thing that I've always take pride in is self-assessment and self-awareness. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people out there.
Obviously, I know I'm not a professional basketball player, so therefore I'm never going to try to think that I'm one.
There's a lot of people out there lying to themselves too, ain't there?
There is. There are.
Yeah.
So I went up there and I went into every bar on this trip, and I was like, well, they're better than me, or I'm just as good as this person, or I think that I can do this better, but they beat me on this. And then some of them, I was just, how the hell do they even have a gig? Who are they
blowing,
kissing, or blowing, or whatever?
Yeah.
And but then about 2 years, I took whatever that they throw me. And when I say they, I worked for the Sanderson family at Legends and Second Fiddle and Stage and Crossroads and Anytime they called me, I'd take it. Rippies was the same thing. Rippies is notorious for calling you at 2:30 for a 2 o'clock gig. I did that. I did that for about a year and a half. And wound up meeting one of my really good friends, CJ Steele, who I wrote "Kissing" and half my EP with on a Rippies gig. But getting called at 2:30 for a 2 o'clock gig, he got the same call, and we just kind of bonded over that. And then I came up here and had my friends. They were trying to help me out and do my writing. Lived with Keo for a while. Keo moved out. Wound up getting a dog, Patsy Klein. Went through some girlfriends. Have a girlfriend now. Really like her. I don't know, man. It's just been different. Like everything that I've ever tried to do in life, I've always tried to compartmentalize everything. That way that you don't get overwhelmed with anything. You can just kind of try to keep things in perspective and keep things in their, within their guarded limits. Good things can happen. Just surround yourself with good people. And I've been very fortunate and very blessed to be around good people who have helped me be a good person too. When I was released from the hospital a long time ago, I was completely indigent. I could not do one thing for myself at all.
Right.
Literally, I couldn't even wipe my own ass. And my own family didn't take me. My own family didn't. Whether it was because of money or whether it was because of, I don't know. To this day, it still bothers me. But
I would imagine.
Yeah.
But the girl's family that I was dating had known me for 1 year of my life. 1 year. They took me in, and they're the boss birds. And not only those people changed my life, because they made me a better person. They made me more the person that I am now with the way that I was raised, as opposed to the person that I was whenever all that happened.
That's good of them, and it
showed me a lot of love.
It amazes me how
a lot of love.
Family can not be there sometimes. I'm blessed with a good family, but I've seen so many friends and people that I've very close to that don't have that support system from family that you would think would be there, and that's a shame.
Well, I mean, that's a support system. You need one.
Absolutely.
Not to sound bad or anything. I've got a great support system, but it took a long time to get that.
Right.
Like for instance, my dad never got to watch me play one show.
Yeah.
My mother, my mama, the woman who raised me, she's probably seen maybe 10, 15 shows.
Right.
My birth mother, who I don't even talk to anymore, she's probably been to maybe 20.
Man, that's just...
I play 200. I play over 200 shows a year, and have been for the last 4 years, three and a half to 4 years. That's so.
Kind of puts it in perspective.
Let me talk about that. Sandra Potts is a lady that came up to me one time. I was playing at a bar called Mama's Country in Marshall County, Tennessee, down in Lewisburg, and it was the first time that I ever played there. And at that point, that was the biggest gig that I'd ever had because it wasn't Kathy Sax. And this little lady comes up to me and she goes, "Hey," she goes, "This bunch that I used to follow, this band that I used to follow, that bunch is breaking up." She goes, "You don't mind if I follow you, do you?" And I said,
"Come on, honey.
Be the first one."
Yeah.
That's what I said. I said, "Be the first one."
Yeah.
I said, "Come on." She goes, my name is Sandy Potts. It's nice to meet you." She says, "I think I'm going to follow you." And I said, "We'll be glad to have you."
Yeah, come on, honey.
And then it was like 2 or 3 months later whenever I came back to that bar. And I hadn't talked to her at all. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I bet you don't remember me." And I said, "Yeah, I do. You're Sandra Potts." And her face just lit up. And she's like, "You mean you remember me?" And I said, "Yeah, you're my only fan." And she said she just thought that was the thing. And she lives in Culleoka, and man, boys, she drives from Culleoka to Nashville to watch me play damn near every night that I play here.
Wow.
Well,
she's that woman is like honest. That woman started out a fan, but she's like my mama now. I mean, support system. When you doing this, like before music, I was a director of sales and marketing for an eye care company. I covered Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Georgia by myself. I made the company more than double in 14 months. They had 45 nursing facilities in 4.5 years before me. And in the 14 months that we were there, we were in a total of 114.
Dang.
So we did okay. You know?
To say the least, right?
But honest, they screwed me over bad out of money and would not pay me. I asked them for $60,000 a year in salary. They offered me 12.
That's a little insult.
Huh.
That's a little bit of a gap. Probably not going to be resolved.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard to get from there to there.
Yeah, I was in contract negotiations for 7 months, and I told them, I was like, this is your deadline. If it doesn't happen, I'm done.
That'd be like the Warriors offering Steph Curry $7 million a year when everybody else is making 30.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and not only that, they was like, but this is what they said. They was like, if you repeat what you did last year, you'll make it. And I was like, no. I was like, I just more than doubled your company. More than doubled your company. Not only that, I was like, I've got to do retention, and you're wanting me to go out there and get more. I was like, I'm still on myself. This is only me. At that point, I had nobody underneath me. I was doing it all. And it was just like, nope, not doing it no more. And then I decided at that point, because they were screwing me over, I said, you know what? If I'm going to bust my ass and I'm going to get screwed, I'm going to screw myself. I ain't going to get screwed with anybody else.
Right.
And so I was sitting there and I had just started coming up to Nashville, like to the Fiddle and Steel. Fiddle and Steel was a great bar, and the development needs to have their ass kicked for taking it down, just saying. Because it was a great place, and it's where it changed my life. It really did. The place is not standing no more. Truly changed my life. I made a lot of friends, a lot of contacts, and seen a lot of cool things happen there. It was 2008. I was still limping around because even after, 18 months after my surgery, they didn't know if I was going to get to keep my leg. I had a staph infection and it wouldn't go away. And so I was still having constant surgeries, and I was always limping around because we didn't know if it was going to happen. But hey, I got to keep it. Everything's cool.
All right.
And but I was still limping around, and I was walking around Nashville. Eddie told me, he's like, man, you need to go up to Fiddle and Steel, hang out up there on jam night. And I didn't know what a jam night was, and I didn't know when it was. I just knew that I was in Nashville, and I was going to go up to this Fiddle and Steel to see what was up. And because, Rascal Flatts got their start there, Jim Nichols got their start there, Eric Church got his start there. Toby. Now, there's a lot of people that got their starts there. And so I walk up in this place. It's like a Monday or a Tuesday night. I think it was Monday night. No, it was a Tuesday night. It was Tuesday night. And I walk up on this place. The door's open. Lights are so dark that it's almost a red light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's like 6 people or 7 people sitting in a circle. And I'm like, what the hell have I done walked up on? I mean, was it a cult or something? I mean, and all of a sudden, like, one of them breaks out a guitar and passes it over, and I'm just sitting there watching. I was like, oh, shit, this is like home. So I just kind of walk over, and it's like, come on in. And I was just like, all right. And then everybody was just singing.
It's a damn shindig right here.
Just passing around a guitar and playing. This was only like 7 people in the whole bar that was doing this. And I thought, all right, this is kind of weird. And then what I didn't know was I'm sitting there, dumbass me is sitting there around with some badass songwriters sitting there kicking it, and I didn't even know who the hell they was.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they meet me, they like me, And they asked me all kinds of questions. Where are you from? You know, why do you talk like that? I don't know. Anyway, you know, all kinds of questions.
Yeah.
I joined Eric Church's. My cousin Tony had turned me on to Eric Church, and I started following his fan club. And it was still Memphis 2008, and I got an email that day. It said Eric Church was going to do a pop-up show at the Fiddle and Steel that night. And I knew that the Fiddle and Steel was freaking like cold scooters. You ain't getting maybe 120, 130 people, maybe 150, but I think they got about 200 in there that night. And but I saw where he was playing there, and I told my cousin, I was like, hey, I'm going to Nashville. I'm watching Eric Church play the Fiddle and Steel. You want to go? And he goes, I said, well, I'm going to be driving right past you. You meet me in Lawrenceburg. I'll pick you up on 43. And he goes, all right, I'll meet you. He's like, you mind if Matt comes? I was like, no, I don't mind. He brings his buddy Matt. We go up there. And because I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, all right, you know, I didn't join this cult last week. I'm in, you know. So we get up there. They let us through the door. And he's about to start, man. And second that he starts. And this was Sinners Like Me album. This was like right as Sinners Like Me came out. And the whole place was singing his songs louder than he was. If you've ever been to an Eric Church concert,
yeah, they're awesome.
But it was like that before he was anything.
I saw him in
it was like that
I saw him in 09. I think it was 08 or 09 in Knoxville at the Valerium at the time. It was I know what you're talking about, man. It was
that's going to be Cody Jinks here in a few years.
You want to get on something like that, and as an artist, when you see that, it's like that's what I'm doing. On the way home that day, that night, I told Tony, I said, I'm moving to Nashville. He said, yeah, that's what everybody says. I said, uh-huh. So I'm moving. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm moving. I'd watch. And so I started playing in my little thing. And then whenever I moved, Tony helped me move. And he helped me load up my mama's bedroom suite because I didn't have one of my own. So I got to borrow Mama. You know, she wouldn't use it. I was upstairs. And he's helping me load up my stuff. And he goes, you really want to do this? And I said, yeah.
Yeah, man.
He goes, you know you're probably not going to make it, don't you? And I said, Tony, I'm not coming back to do it. And he just looked at me and I said, do you think I'm joking? I'm not. And so I got in my U-Haul and I was going up to Nashville that night, and I stopped off at this exit to get some Gatorade and some smart water, and there's these 5 women sitting there trying to change a tire. And I get out of the U-Haul, and they're like, one of them's yelling at somebody on the phone. I think it's her husband. Another one's trying to read directions on how to take the damn jack off the mount. Another one's crying, and another one's just flipping their shit. And I walk up to them, and I'm like, y'all need any help? And they go, nah, we're good. And I was like, all right. I go into the store and get my shit. And, I go into the store and get my shit, and I'm walking back out. And then one of them walks up to me with her hands behind her back. She goes, sir, we're sorry we were rude. She's like, do you know how to change a tire? I said, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I got you.
I said, yes, ma'am. I was like, that's why I come over here and ask you if you need some help. And she goes, well, we need some help. So then I'm sitting there and I was like, where's Jack? She's like, we don't know how to get it out. So then I'll go back there and I'm helping them out. And one of them, the one that was still reading the directions, he's still steady trying to read. And if you think I'm lying about this, there are pictures. This shit is like documented in Facebook official. Okay, because these girls, they are never going to let me. They're from Alabama, and they were coming back from some kind of show up at the Bridgestone or something, and they had a flat tire. And these 4 or 5 girls will never let me live this down, because they always post about, you know, this is a good guy. You need to go follow him. He changes people's tires and stuff. But like that was on my first trip up there. Like the night that I moved. So I mean, there's a lot of different stuff. There's so many stories, man. Like I've probably forgotten more than I can remember, you know. But like, and there's stuff that I can't say to y'all, you know. But there's also like some good stuff that like it's not even like bad. It's just like good personal stuff that you might not. You just want to keep inside. You know what I mean? and you write about it, and then it comes out in a song, and then you buy it, or you love it, or whatnot.
Well, for all the adversity you've dealt with since the wreck, the family issues, getting to Nashville and everything, but I mean to achieve all that, and now to work what you're doing now, man. So the things that you've been doing the last few months, just kind of hit it in a summary right here. Just a few things you've done. I mean, you opened for Charlie Daniels. You've developed a relationship with John Rich. And you played, the Redneck Riviera for John Rich at CMA Fest. I mean, man, you have just done some from coming.
We didn't see that,
huh?
We got to see that actually.
Yeah.
John. Let me tell you something about John Rich. That guy is racist. I don't really care what anybody says about him, and they better watch their mouth if you talk about him to me. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, that guy has been really, really good to me. Called me on the phone. First off, I don't know if any of my friends will be listening to this.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
I want to give a shout out to Straight Hill because John asked him. He was like, this is what I want. He said, I need somebody that's going to be able to hold a crowd. I want somebody that's got their own originals. I want somebody that's good. I want. And Trey said, you call Shrader. And he said, that's your call. And he called me, and he said, Chris, Trey introduced me to him in email, and then we started correlating through that, and then he called me, and he was like, hey, man, this is what I want. I want you there for all this. He goes, I'm going to be booked a lot. He goes, I kind of want you to be, at first I was just a band, and I was going to play my spots, whatever was given to me. And then the closer that the event was getting, he was like, hey, man, I'm going to be kind of out. You mind kind of running this thing, being me when I'm not there? And I'm like, sure, whatever y'all need me to do, man. I ain't going to tell him no. Yeah, and
right.
So I was throwing out T-shirts and sunglasses and taking pictures and kissing babies and doing whatever. It was just a lot of really, really, really good fun. And it was a way for me to, because I didn't release my album. I released my single that Friday. Mm-hmm. And, not only that, we were able to sell merch there. Who was able to sell merch at an event like that? Like, that man, he told me that on the phone. He was like, if you want to sell merch, you can sell merch. He's like, if you want to run a tip bucket, you can run a tip bucket. And I was like, he was like, I'm telling you anything right now to get you because I want you. And I was like, well, we're going to run a tip bucket. If it's in a public event, we want you to get people. But all the other stuff was just aces, and he's been good to me. His people, the people that's in his camp, they've all been good people. They've all reached out to me. I don't even know if I can say this yet, but one of the guys is trying to work with me to promote me down in Georgia, between Atlanta and Athens. There's an amphitheater down there, and there's talk about promoting me because I asked him. I was like, well, he's like, Montgomery Gentry's playing the Southern. He was like, what do you think you can get down there? And I was like, well, who would I be working with? Like, who am I supporting? And he goes, you're supporting yourself. You get on one. And I was like, huh? I'm not a headliner or anything like that. And you got to put things in perspective. It's like, okay, I know I'm not a headliner. So why would I go down to someplace and try to act like one? Because I'm not going to feel that way. You know what I mean? And it has to make sense. That don't make sense. Going down there to play for 15 people might not be a good thing. Going down there to play for 1,500, that is different. 15,000, no question.
Well, tell us about opening for Charlie Daniels at the NASCAR event. That had to be.
It was a dream come true, man. Honest. I've never opened up for anybody.
Yeah.
So getting to open up for a Hall of Famer, a legit Hall of Famer, the East Country Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
A country music icon, and even an American icon too.
Absolutely.
Everybody asked me. They asked that same question, DK. They're like, "What was it like? What was it like opening up for Charlie Daniels?" And my answer's pretty much been the same. I take pride in leading everything that I got on that stage whenever I walk off.
Mm-hmm.
People they spend their hard-earned dollars to come watch me play, whether it be a concert ticket, whether it be to get down to Nashville from Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Alaska, wherever it is that they're coming from. People spend their hard-earned dollars to watch me play. And I've busted my ass a long time for money that I still don't have. May not ever get. But I know what it's like to work my ass off and get it to somebody. So when somebody gives me a $20 bill of their hard-earned money, I know what it's like. You just worked an hour for me, and you're asking me to give you 3 minutes. You got it.
I met Charlie Daniels last year at a little thing. He was doing like a meet and greet at the Gander Mountain in Mount Juliet, and we just happened to we was in that area, and I said, "Man, I'm
up there."
Yeah. I said, "I'm so glad that you were still here. I thought we might have missed you." I said, "I came all the way from Gainesboro, Tennessee." I said, "I don't know if you know where that's at. It's about an hour and a half from here." He goes, "Hell yeah, I know where it's at." He said, "One time in the '80s we were playing in a golf tournament in Knoxville." He said, and we wanted some whiskey. He said, you couldn't get whiskey just anywhere at that time. He said, we drove our ass all the way to Gainesboro and got whiskey. And I said, that's a long way to go get some whiskey. About 2 hours.
That's a long way. He was thirsty.
Yeah.
He was real thirsty. So what I've basically been telling everybody, DK, is like I said, I give it everything I got. I don't want to leave anything on that stage. So with that being said, I did. I walked out on there at Talladega, and I felt like, I was just really doing something. I felt like it. I was on top of the world. The whole time I was on that stage, and everybody was out there cheering. I was just like, the only thought that was going through my mind was, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yep.
No other thing. I'm where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah,
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
I seen pictures of you signing autographs and talking to fans afterwards. It had to be a really cool moment for you.
But with all that said, I gave it everything I got, and I'm doing it all that I can. I got my ass beat by an 80-year-old man that night. He kicked my ass. Man. He kicked it hard too. I mean, he kicked it hard.
Well, there's something to be said for experience there. I went and seen Chris Stapleton last summer, and he's on top of the world. But let me tell you something. As much as Chris Stapleton,
really I love it, yeah.
As much as he owned that crowd, there was a 68-year-old man named Hank Williams Jr. that come showed him a little bit about the entertainment value after that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as much
you got to be able to learn, and that's what I tried to take from him that night. Was just like, okay, you give me a platform, thank you so much, but at the same time, I'm sitting here taking notes.
Right. Well,
but yes, Charlie Daniels was amazing. I honestly didn't go meet him. I was too scared. I was. It was the first time that I ever opened up for anybody, and I was too scared to go talk to them because I didn't want to get fired or step on any toes or anything. I was trying to act like I've been there before. Right. I probably looked like an asshole because I didn't go say anything.
Probably.
But I mean, honest, I was just scared to death. I was scared to death. But the other thing is that like he had a meet and greet back there, man, and that line for his meet and greet was long and all get out. And Darrell Waltrip and him are really good friends. So Darrell Waltrip, whenever Charlie couldn't stay, Darrell Waltrip and his whole family was on the side of the stage just sitting there cheering. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool. We'll kind of just hit you with some a little rapid fire here, kind of wrap it up. We'll promote some of your upcoming things, but all right. So I'm gonna hit you. I know you're all over the place with your interests. So give me your all-time NBA starting five.
My all-time NBA starting five. All right, all time.
All time, five.
All time.
And no,
or is it all time, or is it only in my lifetime?
No, whatever.
All time. All time without question. Point guard is Pistol Pete. All time without question is Pistol Pete at point guard.
Okay.
Shooting guard. I would probably go. It's always Michael Jordan.
I was about to say there's one answer there.
The three, I'm going Larry Bird. Four is hard because there's a lot of good power forwards. Five's easy. Five's a no-brainer in my opinion. It's Shaq.
There it is.
But I mean, everybody wants to say Wilt. But man, Wilt was so much different than everybody else. He was 7 feet tall whenever nobody else was, and he could jump from the free throw line and dunk and get his free throw. If Shaq could do that and do layups, he wouldn't be as bad. He'd have missed a bunch, but he wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
4, honest. He couldn't shoot for shit, but dude, I love Dennis Rodman. I love what he brought about. He made a rebound mean something, you know.
And he,
but
yeah, and he got in everybody's head too. Like
overall four, I didn't like him at all. But Karl Malone was probably one of the best power forwards that we had.
Yeah, he's probably the second best power forward, I'd say, behind Tim Duncan. Our starting five.
He was good.
Yeah, no doubt. Rodman got in his head. I mean, the time they were the finals and they were wrestling around on the ground, and Malone was trying to get up, and Rodman was holding him down, and hell, they hated each other so bad they went to a WCW pay-per-view to settle their score.
That's mine.
Okay. All-time favorite baseball player.
All-time favorite baseball player. God, I got so many, man. I really do. I have so many favorite baseball players. Shit. I'll probably go with David Ortiz.
Okay.
I like David.
All-time football player.
All-time football player. Joe Montana, even though that the greatest is Tom Brady. I don't give a damn what anybody says.
Yeah.
I'm a Peyton Manning fan, die hard. I love that dude. I went to Peyton's last game. I was there, and it was weren't cheap, but I wanted to. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan.
Awesome.
And for me to say that Tom Brady's better than Peyton, it hurts.
Yep.
But he is.
Your all-time, and I know this is going to be tough for a musician, but if there's one go-to, like, all-time favorite song.
Great Day to Be Alive.
That's. I know it's too tough. It's hard to narrow it down to one. But
no, great. It's I just told you, Great Day to Be Alive.
Oh, Travis Tritt.
I love that song.
He's going to be. He's going to be at the.
The reason is because now, man, I work that into my set. I want people. I used to for the longest, DJ. I didn't want to tell anybody about my scars. You know, about my past, about my record, about any of that stuff. Because one, I'm really a private person. I'm a recluse in some aspects, but I don't like getting myself out there. But now. It's kind of therapeutic, you know, just to be like,
yeah,
okay, this is my song. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite ones. Everybody else loves it too. 10 years ago, I had a wreck, and I was pretty much gone. You know, 28 days in the coma, over a month in ICU, 23 surgeries, 4 months in a wheelchair. I had to come back from all that. And today, all I got to say is today and every day is a great day to be alive. And then everybody cheers. And it's just a little quick tidbit. It gives them a little bit about my life in 20 seconds. Lets them know that I'm human, and that we can all fall, and it doesn't really matter where you come from. Because, you know, the good thing and the bad thing is that, like, whenever you're playing downtown, it's like people look at you and they're like, oh, you're up here. You've made it. You didn't see my bank account, baby. So,
yeah.
You know, but at the same time, they think that you've made it or something else. And then on the flip side of that, you haven't. And then, like, you're sitting there, and they think that you're something.
Yeah.
You know, but they think that they put you on a prize. They think that you're an athlete. They think that you're a superstar. And you're not. And that's the biggest thing that I would say that happens to a lot of the people that move here. If they have a little bit of success, how do they handle that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's not forget the cost of living in Nashville and everything else that you guys are out there fighting for, you know, tips on a stool sometimes. You know,
my rent went from $750 to $1350 in 1 month.
Exactly. So
it did.
So if you're working in Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt, is it a stretch to see maybe it was a good day by Ice Cube one day?
No, because the reason being, today is a good day. We do a rap.
Yeah.
Mark McDaniel and I, a long time ago, probably 4.5, 5 years ago, we were playing a show at Legends Corner on Saturday night at 10, and we were playing "What I Got" by Sublime, and
Right.
he started doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rap. And then he was like, hey, you just want to see it. And I was like, no, don't stop now. So then I went to do a line. And then he did a line. And I was like, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going with all the songs we can think of. So we did that shit for 10 minutes. I mean, we just do a verse, or do a chorus of nothing but 90s music. And it went over like gangbuster, man. I mean, like everybody loved it. And then I started getting requests for it. You know, like it's like do the rap, and I'm like, all right. So but then I was like, all right, because Martin was doing it too, because we both made it up at the same time. So you know, you can't be like, well, you can't do that. And so then I started like tweaking mine a little bit. So now, like, we'll do that, but I go completely through the 90s.
Yeah.
I start at 1991, 1992, and I go in order by year of at least one song that come out in that year. And I'll play at least one song, and I'll go from 91 all the way to 99.
I love that kind of
stuff. And then whenever I'm calling out the year, I'm like, figure meters 92, 93, 90. You know, you start doing all that stuff, and then I get to the 99 part, and 99 problems with a bit. I'm just joking. But I've done that. I've actually put that in there too before. But you'll get to that part, and then like you go, and it's like I graduated in 03. So can I play something that was going on in high school whenever I was playing? And then everybody's like, yeah, all right, your mama and everybody made this song, so you better sing it.
Yeah.
And then we'll do Window to the Wall. And do
God, yeah.
It's comical. It's comical just to sit back and watch. I just get started and I just sit back and watch it. Because I'm saying I got 70-year-old women in there going to the wild, to the sweat not down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I got old women sitting there saying, I'm just sitting there going, this is awesome.
I've seen it.
This is freaking awesome.
I've seen it in so many bars over the years. It's pretty amazing to watch a 50-year-old woman say my bowels.
It's just so hilarious, man.
Yeah.
And then, so then, you know, we'll get to that one, and then I'm like, all right, for the 50s and 60s, baby, where y'all at? Where's the old school music thing? And then, like, we'll do It's Time to Stop, Listen, What's That Sound, and here's some funky Dixieland by the Big Brothers. And then it's pretty much over, but the fact is that you get everybody from that 90s thing. And now, the coolest thing about all of that, for me, is that Mark and I, we were the first two people I ever saw do that downtown, period. Nobody was.
Uh-huh.
And now, every single time that I walk downtown, somebody's doing exactly that. And does it piss me off that they stole my stuff? No, not really.
But a little bit.
It's a little, but at the same time, that's the greatest compliment that you can ever give somebody.
Right, exactly.
They think if somebody thinks that what you do is so cool that they want to steal it, that obviously you're doing something right.
It's a hell of a concept, and it breaks the monotony up. Everybody's singing the same country song, so I admire you bringing that out, and I think it's fun. It makes the show more fun when you're singing old school stuff. Everybody loves nostalgia like that, and stuff they grew up listening to, or like you said, the Windows to the Wall, not all this. I mean, it's stuff people want to hear.
We do a different song. Like we'll start off, you know, like everybody loves Just a Small Town Girl. Don't Stop Believing. Everybody loves that damn song. I hate it.
Yeah.
But I hate any song. I don't hate it, but I dislike almost any song that everybody friggin' loves and you got to hear 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Because I got to play it. But what we'll do to go into that is like we do Eminem. We'll do Lose Yourself into Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
And like we sit there and do the whole rap and the whole first chorus and everybody's losing their mind, and then all of a sudden it's like stop. and then everybody flips their shit.
Well, I can't wait to catch a show. I've not been able to catch you yet. Let's.
We're going to Chicago next week. We got a big show up in Chicago Saturday night at Joe's in Rosemont. If anybody knows anything about Joe's, it's one of the biggest spots in the Midwest to be playing.
It is. It's a staple for a lot of real country music singers, and I've always known about it because a lot of my favorite bands play there. Actually, Cross Canadian Ragweed's very last concert was at Joe's Bar in Rosemont.
The last time that we played up there, Roger Crager played. Got to meet him. He was a nice guy. Everclear guy.
Yeah.
Everclear, the Texas. Yeah. He was there the last time, and but this time it's us, and we're really excited. There's tickets. If any of my Chicago fans are out there listening, I think tickets are $7 or $8. Shows at 9:00. We're going to be playing 2-hour-long sets. Don't miss it because I'm going to be playing the majority of my. I'll be playing my whole EP. I'll be playing my new single, "Kiss Me," of course. I've been writing a lot lately. I've got three really good songs. One of them is going to piss off a bunch of people. Piss off a bunch of songwriters in this film that they didn't write.
Well, good.
But it's just that's what my friends were saying. I'm just repeating it. But it's called "Nothing," and it's a good song.
Okay, look forward to hearing it.
I got another one that's going to be coming out. I hadn't recorded it yet, but we've got the demo, but I haven't went to the studio to do a hard copy. We got a new one called "Up in Heaven, Raising Hell." Wrote it with Taylor Garner. That's my friend. His name's Pat Taylor Singh. He's a singer-songwriter himself. But "Up in Heaven, Raising Hell" is going to be coming out pretty soon. It's going to be on the album. And we wrote that pretty much about 2 days before Father's Day. So if that helps out anybody, let you know where my mind was at.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, man, I'm just happy that everything's been working out. We've had a lot of good things going on. John's probably about to open up his new bar downtown, so I'll be playing down there a lot at his place. He has a place in Vegas. San Diego, there's a new place out in San Diego that was just talking about me coming out there in September. In August next month, we're opening up for Chase Bryant and Dylan Scott at the Kentucky State Fair. So if anybody is listening that's from Kentucky or that's around the Louisville area, August the 23rd, we're going to be up there in Louisville at the State Fair playing. Chase Bryant, Dylan Scott, and myself. Cool.
I'm glad you brought that up. I had that wrote down with the Chicago, both that and the Chicago show to ask you about. So, all right, we'll kind of wrap it up. We'd be remiss if we didn't bring up your girlfriend, who's been a big part of our show along the way. Amber Harding, of course. She's been on the show 3 times. The only female guest we've had. She's been on here 3 times. So, just to give her a little quick shout out and what kind of influence she's had on you since y'all have been together the last couple of years.
She's great. Keeps me in line, I guess, as far as like, I don't know. I kind of lose. I don't know. I can kind of be a loose cannon, if something, if the cause is right, and sometimes whenever it's not. So like, she always tells me not to go off on Twitter because I get mad.
Well, it's because she's seen that side of Twitter and she knows it's not cool to see that.
She's doing my social media. She's got everything. She's doing great. She's doing great. She's doing all my social media. She started to do a lot of promoting herself. So y'all need to be checking out Amber Marie Hardy. If you like my page or the pages that. If you follow my page and you like my page and you'd like to have something similar, you might want to check her out. She does great work. I don't know what else to say. She's pretty.
And she's got you.
Pretty,
and she's got
pretty,
you.
She's smart.
And she's got you in shape. She's getting that ass in shape for you too.
Oh, she's got that ass in shape. Yeah. I've lost some weight. I lost about 35 pounds in September. She's doing that NPC bikini competition stuff. So,
Right.
like, I don't really have to do a whole lot. I mean, I ain't trying to be in a bikini.
Yeah. Thank God.
I mean, but at the same time, like, you know, there's meal prep that's going down, so I'm eating healthier. I'm eating cleaner meals. I'm eating better meals.
Right.
I'm working out way more than what I used to. I work out about 3 to 4 times a week. Doing cardio at least 30 minutes, 30 minutes every day that I can. I try to do it at about 4 to 5 times a week. I don't do it as much as a lot of other people because of my medical history. So I do what I can, how I can, when I can.
Right.
If something flares up, which I get a lot of catches and stuff. But you know, it is what it is. The main thing is don't stay stagnant and always keep moving.
That's it, man. Well, final question here. Being the musician you are, if you could put 4 musicians on your Mount Rushmore of all time, 4 favorite, who would those 4 artists be?
Merle Haggard, James Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney,
That's a good one.
and Eric Church.
There you go. I thought that would be mentioned quicker. The
Eric Church, yeah.
the influence that he's had on you. I thought that for sure would be the second one that you mentioned after Merle Haggard. But
He's there. You said the best
Sure.
for last. But the
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
thing was is that
I'm a fan.
I was sitting here trying to think about I've got a list in my phone. Right? In my phone, like I don't know how many songs on it that I've written down in here that I haven't written yet, or just ideas. But there is a list in my phone. It's kind of like a girl having a cheat list. You know what I mean? Like these are my celebrities that I can cheat with or whatever. I have a list of writers that I wish that I could write with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that just songwriters that are my absolute favorite. And like, because I mean, some of those people like they write so real, so real stuff. And like stuff that just gets like it can just put a knife in it and twist, or it can just take it out and make you the happiest day in the world. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's what drives me. That's what makes me want to be a songwriter. I want to write good songs whenever I grow up. DK, I'm still being a kid right now. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm growing. I'm getting to see. I'm getting to open, and I'm getting to be on the same stages as people that I've looked up to my whole life. And like, even after the John thing on Sunday, I ain't gonna lie, man, like, after everything was finally over, like, after I played my shows and all I had to do was just talk to people, I had my moment. You know, I remember what I was doing. I was looking at a trash can and a porta potty. I was looking off, but a trash can and a porta potty was what my eyes had fixated on. And it was at that moment that I just realized, I was like, dude, you're from Pulaski, Tennessee. You're from Haines Creek Road. You're from Boatenham, which Boatenham store had a sign that said population 99 more or less. That's what it said down the road from where I grew up. And look at what you just did. And because when I opened for Charlie and did the Talladega thing, I didn't really think about it. I mean, I did. I was nervous as all get out, but I didn't give myself a chance to think about it. Same thing that I've always done with surgeries, like all those surgeries, is that I never give myself time to think about it. If anybody that knows me knows this, I'm the very last person on that stage. If I beat you to a gig, if I'm on stage before you, there's a problem, because I always push away because I don't want to give myself any time to think about what I'm going to do. Because, like, whenever I had all those surgeries, DK, all I knew was that I was having surgery the next day. I lived my life until midnight, and then I just went drinking. people was asking me, "You nervous?" No, shut up. I ain't trying to think about that shit. I'm trying to live. You know?
Right.
And a part of my life, and that's what's helped me out at this point, is that I don't even think about what I'm doing a lot of the time until after it's already over. And most of the time, whenever I realize what I'm doing, I'm by myself in my truck or going somewhere. And then I realize it's like, wow, you know, I mean, 5 years ago, did you really think that you were going to be doing this? No. My whole life, I didn't think that I was going to be a singer-songwriter. I didn't know until I was in my 20s. My dad counted me, but I didn't.
Well, you're here now. Like I said, you've done some really cool things. Open for Charlie Daniels, working exclusively with John Rich. Guys, this is Chris Shrader. You can see him first weekend in July in Chicago at Joe's Bar. Go check him out. August the, would you say 22nd, 23rd, in the Kentucky State Fair.
August the 23rd.
Okay. August 23rd. You can see him downtown Nashville. You play at the Crossroads Bar. You've been playing at the Tin Roof some, right?
We're playing the Tin. We started. I'm starting to do Tin Roofs a little bit more.
Okay.
So we're going to be playing there on Saturday night.
Check out the awesome new website.
My schedule is always posted on ChrisShrader.com.
Yeah,
that's where my lovely girlfriend Amber takes care of me. She's got my back in every aspect. As a matter of fact, she made sure that I was up in time for this because I called her pretty hot night before I went into my gig, and I said, "Hey, I kind of slept on DK twice, and like I was like, I kind of really need to make sure that it goes through this. You got to wake up at like 10 and give me a call because she's on the East Coast. I was trying to think ahead, and I was like, she called me, and I was like, I answered on the first thing. I said, I'm already up.
Oh yeah, it was going to get bad if we didn't get on this time. I don't know what we was going to do. We was going to mess with you a little bit.
I was going to make my ass come to the studio.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this is when we're going to do it. Come on out here. This is when we're going to do it.
Well, my wife is blowing my phone up. I promised her we're going swimming this morning. She said, I don't understand why in the hell you've done a podcast on Saturday morning when it's 90 and beautiful. So she is blowing me up right now. So thank you, Chris, for finally.
You need to go see your beautiful wife. I wish that I was out in Florida with my girlfriend.
No doubt about it, man.
She's going to be down there for another week, and I'm not even going to get to go down there and see her.
Man,
so I'm not getting to do any beach things this year. And I got a boat that I can't even. Oh yeah, you didn't tell me about the boat, Derek. Dustin, I got tipped a boat that one time. Remember that?
You got what?
Next conversation. I was tipped a boat one time from a dude in Oklahoma for playing buy me a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying weird shit that happens on Broadway.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well,
thank you so much for having me, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you very
much.
Hey, be sure to check out my schedule. All my schedules are available at ChrisShrader.com. It's updated all the time. I get so many messages from people on Facebook and stuff. It's like, hey, where are you playing this weekend? Go to ChrisShrader.com. I got this website that I paid for so that everybody can be informed. All they got to do is just go to ChrisShrader.com. Check it out. Thank y'all so much for having me. Sorry that it took so long to finally get to happen, but thank y'all for having me. Lucas, DK, y'all are awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, appreciate it, brother. All right, that was Chris Shrader, and you can see, like you said, ChrisShrader.com. He's also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find him all over the place, and hope to catch his show sometime soon. I've met him and had a couple drinks with him after Titans games with him and Amber, but hadn't got to go to any of his shows yet. So. Yeah,
well, it sounds like he'd be a good show. I mean, he's playing a lot of good music there, and I like the break from the monotony of the getting out there and playing some of that old school stuff.
No doubt. So,
well, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yesterday was my anniversary.
Yeah,
I worked. I was gone out of town all week. Didn't get to do anything. She posted the most romantic Facebook post. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did not see it.
Let me hit a shout out to Lindsay here for being super romantic on Facebook yesterday. She You got it pulled up here? No.
Yeah. No. Not yet.
Here, I can get it right here pretty quick. She says, damn, she's posted like 1,000 things since then. She said, well, where do I begin? Do I make us sound like we're the happiest married couple that never had any arguments, or are your on my nerves moments? I will say we are both hard to deal with our stubbornness, but if you disagree with me, then it will make everything else so much easier. Ha ha, happy anniversary to my husband. I love you. You know what I did?
Aw.
I corrected her on your because she put Y-O-U-R. And I put only thing I said was asterisk Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Then I said, well, if that don't bring a tear to a glass eye, I don't know what will.
That's like shutting down some romanticness.
Well, she wasn't being romantic. She was being at all. I was like, how do I ever top that? You know what I mean? There's when you go on Facebook and admit to the public that we fight and basically you can't stand me and my husband gets on my damn nerves because I'd like to see me try to get away with that, me saying she gets on my nerves on Facebook.
Yeah, but you kind of did right after that.
I didn't really.
Yeah, my wife set the bar pretty high with her anniversary post. Anytime you could admit to the public that you fight and get on each other's nerves, I just don't know how to top that romantically. My only goal is to get her one day to realize that everything isn't the end of the world and life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. 5 years and she hasn't killed me when I probably deserve it a handful of times, give or take a few.
Well, I've been an idiot. Let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I've done some dumb things in my life, and she's kind of put through it, but sometimes it's because she's so damn hard-headed is why I do the stupid things that I do, right?
Yeah, sure, that's what it is.
I mean, shut up. But, like if the world, if it's like, hey, there's a meteor I'm just going to crush planet Earth tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, well, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we better have fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm hanging out all night.
But literally, if she can't find that one purple blouse in the closet, oh my God, just whatever. I'm not going. Just go on. This is stupid.
I'm not even dealing with this meteor.
She has the biggest meltdown moments over absolutely nothing. But at the same time, like I'm so moody about it. Like if she's not having a good time, I'm like, damn, Lindsay, chill out, loosen up. Then we go on the 4-wheeler ride last week, and she's having a couple of adult beverages.
Yeah. And
she gets my nerves that way too, because like everybody else is just kind of hanging out, sipping,
Uh-huh.
And then she don't drink much.
Right.
Right. So we just don't go out and do that anymore as much. And like if we do, she doesn't usually. She doesn't. And so like. After like 2 or 3, I'm noticing they're going down
quicker.
And then every time we make a stop, because those 4-wheeler rides stop a lot and everybody hangs out. Well, she's getting a little bit louder, and everybody knows my wife. She's kind of set on volume 8 as it is, And by the 3rd or 4th beverage, she's up to about 11 or 12. I'm like, Lindsay, honey, just calm down.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not talking down to her, but a little.
Right.
I'm like, Lindsay, come on. She's like, well, you're right. I just want to have fun. I'm like, shut up. I want you to have fun, but you don't have to just go completely crazy, And she's like, "What? I just don't get to do this." I was like, "Right, but we don't have to make up for it in 3 minutes." Like, we're all over 30 in this little group that's riding together. We're sipping. I don't expect my wife to be acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin over here, just shoveling beer down her throat.
Uh-huh.
Let's act like we got a little sense and I just don't. I'll just quit.
Well,
that's right. That's fine.
Happy anniversary, you two dysfunctional assholes.
Yeah. I just call it how I see it now.
Yeah.
I want her to have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much bipolar, right? Because I want her to. I'm mad when she's pouting,
and then mad when she's having fun too.
I think it's just so hot, and I was trying to drink beer, and I couldn't get them down. So I was like, "How is she having such a good time right now?"
And I'm not
sweating and everything else. So. I got thinking about one of those old stories after last week when we got to talking about stories.
Yeah.
You remember another fun one that happened? It was after one of a night of a Cotton Eye Joe night.
Yeah.
And there was a friend of ours that we'd all hung out, and I don't know what had happened. It dwindled down to just 3 of us left.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It was me and a guy standing there and another guy. And that guy goes and falls asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
And me and the buddy there sitting there having a couple beers.
Close to the 4th of July, possibly.
It seemed like it might have been after the 4th of July. Maybe
possibly right after it.
Yeah, because it was like maybe September. School maybe just started, August, September.
Yeah.
Right? So we're sitting there having some beers, and we're like, dude, how's he going to pass out on us, You
can't do that.
Can't pass out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Who does that?
So we're throwing some stuff at him.
Yeah.
From about a 10-foot distance.
Yeah.
Then we end up throwing some cans at him.
Uh-huh.
We throw like a pill at him.
Yeah.
Throw a spatula.
Yeah.
He's not waking up.
Uh-uh.
Well, the buddy to the right says,
"Hey,
dude, I got some firecrackers."
Let's get them.
And I said, get them.
Let's light them.
And he said, "You think so?" And I said, "Why wouldn't we?" So he goes and gets these little firecrackers, right? So he's holding them. I'm lighting them. He throws it. Throws it right next to the couch. Dude kind of jumps in his sleep a little bit, but don't wake him up.
Yeah.
Shit. Do it again. I light one. He throws it right next to him.
Yeah.
The third one lights it, throws it. As soon as he throws it, he goes, "Oh shit!"
Landed on him.
Lands right on old boy's chest. Boom! What the? Gets up. Dude starts crying. Madder than hell at us.
Oh yeah, furious.
Why would you do that?
Did you just hit me with explosives?
Who does that? It's throwing firecrackers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Am I gonna get another text?
Possibly. We might get a text from somebody on this one.
But yeah, just
maybe two of them.
That was so funny, just to see the fear in us. I was like, "Oh man, that was messed up. Why'd you do that for us?" I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
That also happened to me one time.
Why would you do that?
That bandit, I was in my bedroom with the door locked.
Yeah.
Just trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because you had to lock the door around there.
Oh yeah.
I think I was by myself. And while I was trying to go to sleep,
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole time,
Yeah.
I hear and they got my
firecrackers under the door, huh?
Firecracker bandit there on West 3rd Street.
Yeah. Well,
Let's go home.
let's go to the house.
My wife's going to be pissed.
My wife's wanting to do laundry so bad she can't stand it, and I won't let her turn it on because it's so noisy.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks to Chris Shrader for finally meeting up with us. Great stories. Any story that has that's when I thought I died in it was
yeah,
it's a hell of a story.
For him to make it back to the point he is doing what he loves.
Yeah, that's
a
good thing right there. All right, everybody. That's our show for the week. We're going to end with Chris's new single, Kissing. Hope everybody likes it. Thanks for listening.
First day, sitting in the back row of 3rd grade, heard the teacher calling your first name. How was I to know that we'd be out there making friends? Couple days later we'd be holding hands, catching nerdy looks from all the other kids. They'd be laughing, they'd start pawing, and they'd start singing about you and me sitting in a tree. Kissing. They don't know, they're just jealous. It don't matter what anybody tells us. Just two kids playing kickball, sidewalk chalking our names on the wall. See you and me sitting in a tree. Kissing. S-S-I-N-G.